Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory, coming off another solid performance last week as we head into the month of June. The S&P 500 back within 1% of all-time highs to kick off the new week. More data out over the long holiday weekend suggesting COVID cases continuing to decline throughout the U.S. and other countries around the globe as well. We also had the vaccination rate hitting a milestone in the U.S. over the weekend. Now, 50.5% of the overall population with at least one dose of a vaccine in the U.S. We saw the Dow up 1.9% on the week last week, 0.5 for the S&P. The NASDAQ had a big week, though, 2% to the upside overall on the weekly performance, getting it back into positive territory on the week. However, still a negative month of May for the NASDAQ. Coming up this week, we'll get jobs data on Friday. Before that, the weekly jobless claims Thursday this morning, but that May jobs report going to be closely watched coming up Friday morning. There's a little deal-making news this morning. We'll talk about Cloudera going private, $5.3 billion deal. AMC back on watch along with the rest of the meme stocks already very active in the pre-market as well. It's Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at how things stand to kick off the new week and the new month of June as well. Yeah, nicely positive. As I mentioned, they're 0.5% for the S&P, the Dow 0.7, the NASDAQ lagging ever so slightly 0.4. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to a big gain that's partially due to the move in crude oil, 3.4% on the morning so far for crude oil. The International Energy Agency talking about increased demand coming up in June, but the production side of things going to remain the same to head from May into June. Bitcoin and Ethereum both in negative territory, only slightly though, to kick off the new week. Good morning, guys. We are back. It's Tuesday after a long holiday weekend, a beautiful one here in Southern Ontario. I hope you enjoyed your weekend wherever you are. Interesting morning setting up here, guys. We had the market trying to, get back into positive territory, as we said here, after a positive week last week. However, May on the NASDAQ side of things still coming up on the negative side for performance. But overall, the S&P right back to all-time highs. We have the Dow pushing right back towards all-time highs as well. So looking good so far.
Absolutely, Brandon. And look, there's going to be a lot of individual names I know you guys are interested in. So welcome back. I hope you enjoyed. If you had a long weekend, I hope you enjoyed it. It was fantastic. Well, mostly fantastic for us, with the exception of what happened in hockey. But we come back to an active market. Certainly going to be looking at some of the meme stocks as well. There's not too much in the way of earnings, but you do get a couple of names that should be of interest today. I'm already excited, already trading in this one VTNR. I was just looking at a bit of a hopeful bounce play on AMC, but holding nicely at 30.50. I mean, this 30 level, which has come back into play, could be another good one today. You know it's going to be a big day of trading in terms of volume, as it's already crossing that 20 million mark once again. Pre-market, Sean.
Yeah, we're already in some AMC here. And what's up, guys? Yeah, disappointing. The Leafs haven't won a playoff series in 17 years. So, all right. Okay, AMC here. Yeah, I was just telling Valeria, it's like, imagine Russia, like, all of a sudden, like, not qualifying for, like, some sort of a, I don't know, Asian Hockey Cup or something. Okay, let's go upside here. $30.75 here has been the high so far on AMC. We're going to hold long, man, and then just wait to see. We do have some levels that are going to break at some point. Obviously, $29.75 to the downside. That's a level of concern for me, but we'll be averaging into that. And then I do want to basically, off open, I want to hold AMC and see what we do at this 28 level, sort of where we peaked on Friday in the afternoon anyways. So we'll wait to see what AMC does around 28. But for right now, we're strong and long, hopefully, and we'll see if that comes through in the next little bit. I want to average into that 20.75 area.
Yeah, going to be a busy morning once again for the meme stocks. We'll have a look at a few of them moving around here in the pre-market. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, though, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss B.
Hi guys, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Let's start this week. Excuse me. Let's get it started, Brendan.
It's Tuesday. It feels like Monday. Good morning. There we go. Let's talk a little bit about a few ideas heading into the new week here, guys. A few interesting kind of facts as we roll over into a brand new month. One of those, SoFi. It is SoFi day today. If you were following along, remember SOFI already trading in the pre-market, guys, coming off of that SPAC merger. So I just noticed it is positive. Our chart's not going to show much. We don't roll over data from the SPAC symbol into the new symbol, but worth having a look here, I think, for SoFi today.
I mean, it's done about 100,000 in volume here now. Just keep in mind, and we've seen the rollover happen before, and a lot of times on that first day of trade can be a little bit of sometimes a disappointment. I think maybe you'll see a little bit of selling come into it, where the hype has been into the lead up on those relatively new SPACs. So we'll look to see how the volume plays out. It's not something that I would look to trade. Essentially right off of the open there for any kind of opening play, but certainly if that theme of the exuberance coming in and it gets bought up and then you can find a quick little top. I like that theme as an overall idea. So it'll be on my radar for one of those like 10 o'clock type rollovers. But I need the volume to be really, really good on that particular name, at least off the open. I don't see a heck of a lot happening in the pre-market just yet. I mean, look, they're a well-known name. They're in a good space. I think people have had ample opportunity to get in and don't necessarily have to rush today, although we'll see what happens. Maybe it holds like some kind of an even level, like a 20, which we've already seen a little bit of in the pre-market here.
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking here on where SoFi's come from. I mean, under 100,000 shares, say it's not going to be like that big of a situation, but you do have 2150 from the 25th, so that was sort of the high there. Well, we knew that they were announcing the name. I mean, it was such a great buy down at 15 for this name. So we'll wait to see. 2150 looks like the last little level there that people were concerned about. So you could watch out for 2150 on SoFi. But you do have a really great bottom here between 19 and 1950. So whether or not we're going to open up, I mean, let's just see. Where were we right now? 21 or so here on SoFi. So yeah, well, obviously the chart's right here. So 21, and then you have this little 1950 area, only 89,000 shares. So yeah, I'd be looking. I mean, I'd be a buyer of this name. I'm not too worried about the name changeover. Like Brendan mentioned there, and Neil, we've known about this for a while. So I just look to see if there's something here with 1950. So we'll wait at the 1950 area and see if we can get long, and then back to 19 makes sense to me. So let's put some bids here. 1950, see if it holds, and then we'll wait for 19 to break. But SoFi, welcome to NASDAQ land.
Yeah, let's go. Let's stick with NASDAQ here. We'll talk a little bit about some chip makers, guys. There's not a huge headline on AMD today, but AMD nicely higher here in the pre-market again. If you remember, way back on Friday, when last we spoke, this happened right off the bat this morning. A huge, or back on Friday morning, I should say. We went from 78 all the way to 81 and change, and held those levels nicely throughout the session. So here we are again. They announced a few new products on the gaming side of things starting June with this product announcement. So another day, another bump for AMD. Chip makers in general, though, coming off a pretty strong week.
Okay, so first of all, Neil and Brendan and everybody, my trades have this always happened?
It's new. I forgot to mention this to you. I saw this morning.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I know what you're talking about, man. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, good. Yeah, our trade's still showing up from Friday. Wow. AMC right now, Mamma mia, still ripping up. Okay, guys, this is what we're talking about here. So NVIDIA, we last stamped out, we put a buy on this stock back at 604, not just put a buy, but we actually bought the stock back here at 604-ish. Right here, we tweeted it out when we did. It was crazy because that's when we talked about the split happening, right? You get some volume coming up here the day of the split, where I was wondering what the hell is it doing sitting down here around 600. Now it's at 650, so that's about 10% in a week return for NVIDIA. For me, I'm not getting out of it, but I like NVIDIA to break new highs. We're at all-time highs right now. It's going to open up at an all-time high. if I'm correct. Yeah, 649.78 is where we closed. That was the all-time high right there. And then so you do have its friend, the stock that I've liked more than NVIDIA, although I think I may have more money in NVIDIA now than I do in AMD, but AMD's been a nice little run as well. We probably still have that mistake on the chart. Yes, we do. So I can't really go over this with you right now, but the daily chart for AMD has been incredible. There's also Western Digital as well. Okay, none of my charts can load. So this is what I mean by incredible. It's just been hanging out here on the downside of everything right here, AMD. So it's finally looking like it wants to break out. It still needs to get above this 84 level. So actually, I don't want to say it looks like we're breaking out. We have the 50-period moving average here at 79.50. So that sort of signaled that breakout to me. But on a daily chart, they're not super sexy yet. AMD not near highs like NVIDIA is. So I prefer to trade NVDA today.
Yeah, I actually like, and I still like AMAT. We talked about this one a couple of weeks ago. It made a nice little base. We're getting a bit of a breakout. You did have a strong earnings report. Everyone talked about the the chip shortage, and when Mark Roberts was on, he mentioned Lam was another one as well. But the suppliers, at the end of the day, you got to ramp up production. The suppliers are going to be who's supplying the chip makers, right? So AMAT's going to be a nice little winner here, and I obviously like. If you look at the higher low it put in, you're going to see this 139, which we're attempting to hold a breakthrough before. Again today, because we've already done this one time, guys, where it failed at 139 a couple of times in the afternoon on Friday, and coming in today, you had this like 140 break looming. So a bit of a break heading on AMAT here towards its top, which is just shy of 147. So I continue to like them. Probably going to be worth it for some day trading, even though the volume isn't always the best. So across the sector, I mean, you can certainly pick a lot of active names here. I just happen to prefer AMAT. Never actually traded over in Lam, but I think AMAT can be a good one today.
All right, let's have a look at these EV makers, because it's the first day of a new month. Typically, the first week of a new month, we get all of the delivery numbers from the Chinese EV makers. They, for some reason, all happened the same day today. So all of them, XPeng, we have NIO, we have Li Auto, all higher in pre-market trading here, guys. I guess what I'm trying to get to here is the fact that these numbers that these companies are putting out, it seems on a monthly basis, you're getting triple-digit % gains regardless of the month. Another month, here we are again, 400% gains in delivery numbers for these companies again.
Part of me feels like the last time, and XPeng in particular, last time I traded this one, it was a bit of a trap. So, I look at these and they're all essentially, the charts are going to show you a bit about the same story. They're all breaking through the 50 period. Now, in XPeng's particular case here, it's also trying to get through like a key 34, the most recent, I guess, of these lower highs that got put in, but you are now breaking out and trying to consolidate above that 32 range today. If I think there's going to be a bottom in those, for the most part, maybe we'll actually bounce off that 34. And just so you guys know, if you see me pop in and out of Cloudera, that is a $16 cash deal. It's just going to likely trade in a relatively tight range. Because it's going private, there aren't a lot of concerns about antitrust, so it actually could hold up pretty nicely compared to the NUAN, which was a gong show on its first day. But XPeng here, and it's going to be the same across the board when it comes to all of these EV makers. You want to see if it can actually this week hold above that 50 period, hold this 32 level. That's going to be the key. It still has that 34 break in the midst, but I don't like breakouts. Sometimes it's okay in NIO, but I've learned my lesson with XPeng. There's just zero chance I want any part of that 34 breakout. If there's a dip buy, it's always deeper than I anticipate. And sometimes with these, when it just does this consolidation, there is a breakdown trade. And I've avoided it. A lot of times I'm taking a 34 break when you get these delivery numbers. And I just feel like today I want to be able to fade this one. Instead of only trying to pick the bottom when they sell the news, I just end up trying to go long way too early. I'd actually try to get a little bit of the short position here and see if we can't get a quick little scalp trade in XPeng. But don't let it go through the pre-market range, right? So have a nice little stop at the top here, but give it a shot at 33.50. Only reason I pick XPeng because I'd rather short them than NIO. Pretty simple.
Yeah, don't short NIO at all today would be my recommendation, guys. NIO's just been hot fire and, up another 3.5% today, looking to take out the top. Look, month over month, 5.5%, year over year, 95%. I mean, that's killing it. So we'll wait to see what NIO wants to do. I mean, as soon as they start talking about, bringing cars, I know there are cars in the U.S., but if they start talking about that market, like who knows where this stock can go. And it's still really low. I mean, we can all remember just not even too long ago, let's call it a couple weeks ago, we were at its basic low of $30, $30.50. Now you're up to 40. So this is just like in 2 weeks, you've gone from 30 to 40. So it's a hot fire name, that's for sure. 50-period moving average at 37.50. So I look for to take it out. I mean, I'd rather, get much more interested if we were up here a little bit, 43, 46 area. But 40 is okay. It's a nice little level we've bounced off of. And again, you have some outs here. If you're wrong, we've bounced off of $40 a couple times before. The very bottom on some of these wicks are 39. And then you do have the 50 period of 37.50. So there's lots here. That's amazing. Like you can see this finally, like I'm so glad that we could see our trades from before. You could see exactly. And I was going to say, man, let's just rinse and repeat the same trade that we always do. And this is what we did on Friday, downside 38.50 long, and then we ran it to the upside 39.20. So yeah, lots. That's awesome that we have these in our charts now, so you can look back and just even do your own work and see where you screwed up just from a day before. But I think we were perfect on Friday. So $40.28 looks like a good little break for me, and we'll check on the imbalance locator quickly. We still have tons of time to go. Wow. AMC 1.27 million. We're long that one, and we're not getting out. We talked about where that one's going to go. We do have an offer though, actually here on AMC. It did get as high, guys, as 31 and then stopped. So I do have an offer. We're long at 64, so we're flat right now, but we're going to get out if it comes to 31, half, and then we'll just keep trading it back and forth. There's NIO's Cloudera. NIO on there as a bid, guys. So let's wait. We still have 45 minutes. Like I have no idea where these stocks are going to go in the next 45 minutes, but I do know that I like the NIO break of the high if and when it's still there on open.
A couple of Chinese names on that list as well, both Alibaba and Tencent Music. We're going to talk about those coming up, but I want to mention these reopening stocks. We saw CCL on that list right at the top of the board there. The airlines, though, all higher this morning in the pre-market here. I just brought up AAL. You can look at any of them, really, about 1.5 to 1.75%. They came out this morning and said long weekend travel in the U.S. was back to pre-pandemic levels, so all the way back to 2019 levels as far as sales and bookings for flights. So a lot of these, and we just saw CCL there as well, guys, on the imbalance locator, going to be in positive territory today.
You're probably right. I mean, the bad news is I felt it was Southwest that is again pausing or continuing to pause alcohol sales on their flights, which it is what it is. I mean, I'm looking at Southwest right now. I mean, you sort of get this top where you're consolidating. Is it all baked in? The reopen trade has been a fantastic one. You're looking for what is going to actually get you over the hump here. And you've got several highs you have to chew through, 64, 65 even. That's going to be a nice little breaker when it eventually gets to that particular price. Essentially flat on the session. There's not really a ton of volume here, but this is one on the radar. You get some consolidation above, and then you look for like a 65 break on Southwest. And I'm going to like it when it gets there, but I don't feel like it's going to be much of a day trade until it does. I like this name because they've already broken past those pandemic tops and then managed to hold it on a retrace. So if we can get towards that high, in the coming days and weeks, I think there's going to be a little bit of a play there in Southwest. I also just want to quickly, if I can, go over this VTNR, which I know is on our. I'm pretty sure it's on our watch list. I don't know if it is, but anyways, there was a bit of a breakdown on VTNR. You don't want a daily chart. A bit of a breakdown at 980. Now this was the stock we were trading both directions over on, hey, that's weird. It actually is not showing up anymore, Sean. That's kind of hilarious. It was showing this morning. We showed the break that we had at 7 even on Friday, guys. And then if you get a bit of a gap to the upside, they get sold off all morning long. If I ever see this happen, where it's just straight selling, in this case, down like a couple of dollars here, I usually want to short the first pop. Now, I did miss a chance at this when it took out or failed to take out 10 or hold 10s. So I shorted this 980, which was both a break at 750 and then some support earlier. So I'll give it back to about 1030 or so, even, or 1030 even, and then see if we can't get this back down to like a 9 even level, which is the pre-market low. So involved already in this VTNR, also on the watch list.
And we'll do some backflips already because we're already making that cake already early, guys. A smooth little win there on AMC as you see get out 91. So let's wait to see where we go now. So that was the plan there on AMC. Takes them out as we approach 31, and that's exactly what we did. And we got, was it 91s or 93s? We got 91s, okay, guys? So right now we'll wait to see where we're going, but we're long AMC right now, 30, 50, 40 cents in the money. We just took a little profit off that 31 area. So you guys asking about the sticky note, it's up. And a name that I like, here goes AMC, by the way. Bye-bye, see us through 31. That's going to be a good trade. Let's see how far this one goes today. There it goes. Stops at 31, so we'll wait. We know there's a big imbalance. So that's 43 cents in the money right now. Alibaba, look, up 4.5%, 5%. It's about damn time that Alibaba starts to go. You guys know that I've been buying this one as much as I can on the downside here. So I just think some of the negativity around China is probably gone now. There's some small fines that they had to pay, and one of their companies had to pay there, along with Tencent. There's a few different tutoring things here, but $6 million, something like that. Okay, that's nice. That doesn't mean anything to Alibaba. So nicely up 4.5%, 5%. And look, we're basically right now trying to cross the 50 period. We talked about a lot of these names, man. There were so many good value names that you could have picked up near the bottom over the last couple of weeks. And I just think Alibaba is one of them. So hopefully you're long with us down here, 211, 212, I think. Was something that we talked about last week, and now we're breaking out. So it's not like a multi-day break or anything, but this 226 is the 50-period moving average. And I wrote down here on the list right now that if we can break, it's right in the middle there, 225, right? I wrote down good feels, and then also that hopefully there's a little, and what I mean by good feels is just that like the rhetoric from the Chinese government, so on and so forth, hopefully has now gone by the wayside. I haven't seen too much of that. They know where Jack Ma is, and obviously new management there as well, taking in control. So here goes AMC on that capital raise like we talked about. So it's just taking out 31 now, high of 31.20, guys. We're long and strong at 30.50. So hopefully you guys see these pins, line them up, and hit a couple strikes today with AMC.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a lot of those Chinese stocks kind of being dragged along with this move. Tencent, Sean mentioned there, one of those. JD.com also higher in the pre-market. Here we go, upgrades, downgrades for the morning. We looked at Boeing last week, back to the upside again this morning. Another 2% for Boeing. Cohen upgrading. There's NIO. Citigroup with an upgrade on that delivery number. Dollar General had earnings last week. Li Auto over on this side, though, with a price target decrease this morning. Big Locked and F5 on this side down about 3% so far, guys.
Yeah, I mean, one you named there, or one you mentioned there, I should say, Boeing. Trying to hold this 250 level. I mean, we're also going to like it too. I also like it 245 if it ever does want to come back in, because it obviously has had some trouble chewing through and holding that 250, most notably on Friday, where it spent basically the entire trading day outside of one little shot trading below that price. So I'd love to see a little bit of a defense here off the open of this level. 250 would be a nice little hold. If it does dip through there, you can kind of look back to like these 246, 247 levels, and probably a little bit more of an exciting name to day trade than I was just looking, of course, looking at Southwest there. So I think there could be a little more volatility and certainly volume, relatively speaking, in a Boeing, and we've had some success trading in the past. I do look to catch a little bit of a dip here on Boeing. We know we had that long in last week's action. It only gave us a couple of bucks and was never really too much of a fall through. So still waiting for that day where you get that Boeing push that follows through, gives like a $10, $15 move. If it holds above 250, I think it's well on its way. And this is just, give you an idea of the daily chart here. You have this peak at 280, let alone where Boeing still has yet to come back from. I know it's not just reopen. They do have concerns with 737, have in the past. So that's a lot of the reason why we're still below 300 bucks. First stop has to get to that 280. I'm looking for one of these days this week to take a big chunk out of that. And first things first, let's hold 250 here. That's where I want to buy the dip.
Yeah, look, we've been, and again, it's on our list here. It's right at the bottom, and we said yes, because right there, there it is for Boeing. I know it's hard to see, but you can hit it up. I'll put it on Twitter again if you can find it. It's very, very popular. Yes, so we're finally super, super happy. We'll fire off some hot dogs for Boeing, man. We've been talking about this name ever since this little line here, 190. We've been buying up Boeing. We bought some in below 200. Then one of our last buys. Again, this 212, I got to figure out, because I'm pretty sure I bought Square at 212. I bought Boeing, in these 190s, and then again in the 200s. It did go against us here. So we first bought it on this breakout. We didn't average in. We bought more up here. I haven't bought it in a while, but nicely to see Boeing upside now. We are long, way lower than this price. So that's a good one for Boeing. And then forget about trades that we've already made. Let's look at trades moving forward, right? So all we wrote was nothing. We didn't write down any levels. 250, 250 is going to be there. I do like a pullback into 250, just based on what it was doing the last couple of days here. This is just last day. You know, it's very, very choppy off the open, so that's why we want to stay away. Like at the open last time, we had 249 high down to 245.50 within an hour, right? So you got to watch out there. You know, this stock could move. The market, as I know, is up 0.5 right now. So lots happening, but Boeing, look, more good news. Everything's kicking for them. The 737 MAX will be up and flying and making some big moves as well. So there goes AMC again, guys, now taking out its day high of 31.20. So you're just spinning this today if you're long. Congratulations, anybody held something over the weekend. I don't know if we expected a capital raise, but that's going to work. Up to 31.20 right now on AMC. And let's just do a little bit of work here because everyone's talking about AMC and nothing else, it seems like. Okay, so 32 we stopped at. This was a big spot for us on Friday. We talked about why 32 was a big spot there, some consolidation below it, so it needs to break above there. When you do that, then I think you do move into 34.50. This little wick that actually happened here at 10:01, this was real. So this was a flush up to 35.50. If that happens again, I look for the same kind of thing to pull back in. You have to break this high of 35.50 or we're not going anywhere, obviously. So that's still a ways away. I mean, you get to 35.50 now, that's another 15%, which would put you up 35% on the day. AMC can do that. So the first little area of concern for me is 32. So it's basically this high is 31.75. Actually, now that I look at it, so I like this area of 31.75 to break that. So we'll hold out for there. We will put an offer in here somewhere, probably 31.50, to see if we can't take a smooth dollar on this trade, which would be really nice. We'll slay the dragon early, and then we're going to look to go longer here. 31.75 break on AMC. Would just rather it break once the market opens and that we have, you know, I mean, this is already 25 million. The volume's already intense. So you know what? Maybe we don't need that. But the problem with it's going to be, guys, is that right off the open, you're going to get some, you know, mixed pricing because of this number. So we're going to see where it goes with the imbalance. But I mean, that's a big bid. Obviously, BlackBerry's on there as well. So let's wait to see where we go. But that 31.75 looks pretty nice. We got to get out of 31.50, and then we'll wait to see what happens upside. But that's AMC talk for you right there. Congratulations, everybody holding long. Just watch out for some of these, you know, crazy flushes that happen off the open.
Sean, I just saw your PaySafe with an upgrade today as well. Just popped up there. So PSFE, worth a look here. If you haven't done so already, that's the link you need to go to, guys, to grab the morning note. We summarize everything that is moving around in the pre-market and put it in one neat and tidy package for you. We do all your homework, then you join us at 8:30, and we figure out how we're going to trade these in the morning. So let's jump into it. Sean just walked you through AMC. A little bit there. Yeah, still very active here in the pre-market. They came out this morning with, I mean, it's not huge. It's 8.5 million shares, Class A shares, 230 million in notional value. I mean, the market seems to be shrugging this off a little bit. I think maybe the bigger or different angle on this maybe is, do the rest move? We saw BlackBerry on the imbalance locator there as well. Do the rest move with this again, or do we just kind of hang our hat on AMC today?
There's a reason why, I mean, you kind of probably guess what I'll say about BlackBerry there, but there's a reason why I think you're going to see BlackBerry basically flat all pre-market where AMC is making a bit of a push. You know, you get this afternoon high in BlackBerry in particular, which got sold off all afternoon on Friday at about 10.90, trying to hold above this particular price. You're seeing it almost pivot back and forth there time and time again, whereas AMC is sort of breaking through, has broken through a couple of levels that are very similar. You know, maybe it gets to this triple top that you had 11.50. I know I'm going to be watching that one pretty heavily if it does make a move up, but I can't look at this 10.90 break and not try to have a bit of a shot at it. And this comes down to, and I think we talked about this last week, at least if I didn't talk about it last week, then that's kind of ridiculous on my part, but we talked about this, a notion of where can you more safely play the south side of the trade when things start to roll over a little bit, and certainly that can be the case here in a BlackBerry, which will have a better range, I do think, you know, easier levels to hit, not the crazy action where you get wicked out if you want to have a bit of a stop. You can usually place a stop pretty comfortably. So I like a 10.90 breakdown. You're going to go back to that afternoon high here in BlackBerry and then work with that. If it does press up here, I'm looking at that 11.50 area. And, you know, Sean eloquently discussed AMC there, the subsequent level for that was, this 28.40, and then of course, where's the breakout price here? And we talked about 28.40 ad nauseum last week, but then at 7 o'clock, it just broke through there. So I'm not even sure this has too much to do with the offering as opposed to just another catalyst to push this one higher, and this got bumped through. Once it broke this level, sort of off to the races. And if it gets to 35, that was the biggest trap long that I've seen in a long time that wasn't GameStop in terms of a long break. So that 35 level, if it gets there, is a pretty huge one.
Yep. Okay, so we've already talked about AMC, so I'm going to go over to Palantir here. And just look, we have this 23.50 level. We've topped off here a couple times, topped out there, tried to break it there. So I do like this level here for $30.50 on Palantir, 23.50. As it goes, we'll wait to see. I like a pullback into 22.80 as well. See, now my trades are back. I mean, here's more trades on Palantir, even back a couple days. Back to 22.50, we were long, and then we're just going to try to do the same long again. Look at this long on Friday, 23, upside, long again, long again. Wow, we had a good day on Friday. So now the more that I see about this, that's good. So we're excited to trade again today. But yeah, look, watch out for these downside moves, 22.80. It's going to be more about AMC today, but don't forget about GameStop. They move in tandem. AMC's been rocking, obviously a lot more than GameStop. There's another GameStop trade. Okay, good. Yeah, me happy now. Okay, so you're probably not, hopefully you don't see any losers coming on board. But here's GameStop again. I don't know. I really like it at 50 because that's a key level here, $2.50, $250 right there is a pretty key spot. So we'll wait to see if it can hold this bottom though. So I'm always looking to see if it breaks bottoms, breaks tops, things like that. So we need GameStop to come back down to this is a 3-minute chart. So down to 220 might be interesting, but this break isn't horrible either, man. 238, like some consolidation here, 240 maybe break on GameStop if you're playing the break game. So I like all of that, but look what's happening right now, man. AMC, this is where the goods are at. 25 million shares for AMC, 200,000 for GameStop. So pick your poison, man. This is 100 times the volume. I'd much rather trade AMC, and it's not even like you don't get the moves. You do get the moves, guys. AMC moving here. It looks like it's going to take out this top. I canceled my offer. I don't have any offers right now on AMC, so we'll see if we take out this 32. 31.75 is where my next long is. We're excited today for some AMC trading. What up, Rob? Wake up, buddy. I know you're watching that Leaf game.
All right, let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a look at the overall market, check out the futures, and see what levels we need to be aware of heading into the month of June. Arun, good morning. Hope you enjoyed your long weekend. I was just having a look at May 10th. The high was 42.38 and a quarter. That's all-time highs. When does that happen now?
Well, I mean, we're not that far away. That can happen today. I mean, that can happen by 10 o'clock in the morning, depending on, given how it's gone so far. I mean, it's not going to take that much effort to get up there now. It becomes magnetic, right? When you put in these markers, especially all-time highs, and we're sitting very close to it, you gotta wonder if that's going to happen fairly soon. So here's what I'm thinking: 4120-ish. 41.15 going back to a week and change, and then 41.20 we had moved that to Friday or so. That's the area that was like the top end of the range. It was there for a while, and now we finally got above it. So you've got to wonder if that area that you talked about, the just underneath 41.40, just underneath that area. So I'm thinking if there's stops that are, anyone who's looking to take a short would put the stop at 40 or just above 40. So I would look at 41.40 as the marker. If we get above there, you're gonna have to see some sort of stop run. I mean, I can bet there's some shorts that are putting their stops up there. So that's the area. If you're gonna look for a breakout, that you haven't taken already, maybe that's where the stops are. I personally am looking for that 20 area. Now we've already gotten above it. I've got some bids layered down. If we can get into the low 20s, high teens, I'm looking to buy some with a stop just underneath, well, not just underneath 10. It's underneath 10, but I want to see how much action we get underneath 10. So it's not a hard stop. I want to see what the reaction is. If we get underneath 10, we kind of fight some more selling, then I got to bail on that long idea. But for now, I am looking to catch some bids on every drop that we come down through the 20s and the high teens. Now, the reason I'm willing to do that is because how much time we spent in this 42.15, 42.20, even the 42.10, that area has been congested, and we finally got above there. It obviously did this on a coming out of a long weekend. So how much volume can you trust, or how much volume kind of got through there? That remains to be seen at the open, because that's when the majority of the volume will come in. But I am willing to step in and take a shot on the long side with just a stop just underneath 42.10, depending on how it trades down there. Again, it's not a hard stop, but I do want to see how it trades.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Let's continue along here as we head towards the open. We're under 30 minutes to go before the market opens, guys. Let's talk about these Chinese EV makers. We saw NIO trading in positive territory. It was interesting. They noted the 5.5% month-over-month increase number was including a delay. They had to shut down their plant for multiple days, in fact, so reducing production overall because of the chip shortage. That has affected so many other vehicle makers. But yeah, we said, 95.3% increase year over year, only the 5.5% increase month over month because of the chip shortage, guys.
Look, and this is sort of going to be, look, it's going to be the thing. You at this point with all of those numbers, you can't care too much about, the over, maybe we're responding too much to the chip shortage. It's baked in at this point, and I think you have to look in the broader sense here where the momentum of these stocks are carrying them, because everyone's been concerned about it. Now, I did favor, if I had to shoot short one, favored shorting in XPeng, which I'm going to go to continue to do if we get that 30-50 break. But NIO, very similar chart, holding above that 50. Now, 38 is where the dip would normally be for me. And you kind of look back into Friday's action, and I can show you some support down 38.20 or so. I do kind of look into this 39 area as well, just because it was such an interesting, ceiling in terms of a couple of days in a row. And you had that Friday action, and then a bit of a top going into the close on Thursday as well. So I would investigate like a 39 dip in addition to playing off of that 38 if we ever got a shot at it. You do have a breakout potential trade in NIO, but like I said, I don't really love the breaks on these particular names here. I prefer to buy the dip, and then even if it breaks the quarters, then I start thinking about buying a dip at 40 instead of waiting till that 39. So if you see me short, it's likely to be over in XPeng, guys, and then NIO, I'll be reserving that one for the dip buy. You can call it, I don't necessarily consider it a bit of a hedge. I do expect if I catch XPeng, it'd be more of a quick trade, and NIO would be more something where if I get that turn at 39, you're looking to hold on to that or rinse and repeat it, or just be in this trade a little bit longer and take multiple entries. XPeng short, I expect to be in, I expect to be out, I expect to have one stop at the pre-market high, whereas NIO would be more of an active trade throughout the session.
All right, so NIO, it's one of our top ones here today. It's on the very top list, so you can find out the sticky note on Twitter. So watch out for that one. It looks like you're going to try to break 40 right now, so that's going to be a good call to the upside of NIO breaking through 40. We'll see where it goes after that, but I like that play, breaking through 40.50. Again, now my trades are gone, but it's the same kind of trade again. We'll try to do it where we can buy into some dips. So I don't have any bids yet, but we will put some bids up here for NIO, and then we'll see how far it can go down. So I'm looking to see if we can protect 39. That was a good little level. I like what they're doing over there in NIO. I think there's a lot to come with more cars, more talk in the United States, charging stations, things like that. 40.25 to the high side here on NIO. Remember, this is a 3-minute range, so just chart. So just to give us a little bit of a look here, we did open up 38.50 or so on Friday, ripped all the way to 39. So we know it can go about $1, and then it came all the way back down again to these levels. So watch out here. We're not nervous, but we are, cautiously here going to trade NIO back down to 39. Going to find some more levels. Maybe the 20-minute gives us a little bit better. Not too sure. Let's have a look quickly on NIO here. Yeah, this is, I like it back to 39. These are these highs. So if we get 39 and then somehow manages to come back down and break our necks at 38, then we'll do that. But let's see if we get some lower bids into 39. And then I do like taking out the top there. Remember, there is an imbalance, or there was not too long ago. What time is it now? It's still 9:07. It's still super early on these imbalances, guys. But NIO, AMC, BlackBerry, CCL, Ford, Palantir, they're all here. There's that Cloudera as well. So let's just continue to watch it. But hey, I like NIO. I'm going to put some lower bids near 39, see if we get some action, and then take out this top at 40.30, but would rather that happen in the first 5 minutes rather than in the first 1 minute. So let's wait on NIO. I would hope to get a pullback, and then we'll defend 39. And if we have to, we'll hold a little bit back to 38. But this is not like a home run play, guys. Let's make sure we make the right trades.
All right, let's go to Alibaba here. It was interesting to note, right when I sat down this morning, all of the Chinese stocks, including the EV makers, in fact, in positive territory. Alibaba, JD.com, all moving in the same direction here this morning. There's no real significant news that I could find. There was that regulator that find all of the online education companies. So Tencent Music has an online education offering. Alibaba has an online education offering, but it was, small pennies really for them to pay that fine. But overall, guys, a nice positive start to the week here for these stocks.
Yeah, we talked about Alibaba and why I like it, right? I think that you have the CCP hopefully going to be behind them. They're up 4.5%. We've been buying it. We've been talking about why we like these guys for a while. So let's hopefully Alibaba can get going, man. Like the number two besides, I think was it JD, I think, so doing a little more e-commerce on the transaction side, I believe, than Alibaba. But we'll wait to see here. I mean, this is just a monster waiting to wake up, in my opinion. Alibaba, you've seen Amazon, not Amazon struggle, but, Amazon has had, a few different moves lately, not getting going. Not that I think Alibaba, Amazon has their hands in everything. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about what Alibaba's into, but they do have that Ant fintech that's going to go at some point. So I like everything that they're doing. I like this break at 226. It's on my sticky note. It's one of the top trades that I'm going to be looking for, and it's going to be this 225 break. So I like the round even level there. On a daily chart, 225 is not overly sexy. There's nothing here, but we are approaching the 50 period. I like the break to the upside. It's still $1.20 from now. So I don't know if I want to play any dips because, again, we got to judge the strength in Alibaba. But right now, that's a good trade for me up through 225. But first of all, it needs to happen. So we'll wait for that. And then there goes right now. We'll spin the money. $1.07 now in the money now on AMC. So new month. Same results, guys. We're still ripping this up. We had a great, I think we had 2 negative days there in whatever last month was, May, and we'll look to see the same today, starting off great, looking to take this out. We'll go a little bit longer here on this 31.70 break, but hey, we called this 31.75. Remember when we were in this, guys, earlier, we said, the next call is going to be upside 31.75, and what that was based on was right here, some of this consolidation. So we're right here, right now. Probably just get out now, I guess. Well, we're going to go longer anyways. So there it is, AMC right here. Watch out for this high of 35.50. This is the blowout level that I'm looking at right here. So AMC, we're going to go longer right now, guys.
If you go back to Alibaba, maybe JD as well, because in terms of dips, I think there is a level from a couple weeks ago, the 75 area. If it pulls back in, JD.com could be one. And these look exactly the same on the daily chart. Talking about the two, the 225 will correspond to like a 77 level on JD.com. So you can kind of pick your poison. JD is probably doing a little bit better volume. I know it's a sexier name, but Alibaba may be the sexier name, but JD I think just as good for the day trade and gives a cleaner level, I thought, at that 75 in case there is a bit of a pullback, guys.
All right, let's continue along here. We'll talk a little bit about Canopy growth because not only CGC, but I saw Tilray up again in the pre-market as well. So some of the cannabis names moving around this morning. Yeah, that Cloudera, guys, if you missed it, it's a $5.3 billion all-cash deal. KKR involved in that. They're going to take Cloudera private. Shareholders getting $16 per share. CGC reported a smaller adjusted loss for the fourth quarter, pointing to increased demand in our country during the pandemic for their products. So heading in the right direction. I was reading some of the notes that came out during the release as well, and they were talking about implementing their cost-cutting measures successfully over the last quarter. That will continue into this quarter, guys.
Okay, yeah, just looking here what's going on. Okay, so CGC, so we're out of AMC there because it's at that top, it didn't break. So we're gonna wait for that one to see if it eventually breaks, and we'll see what happens. We wrote this down again, it's on our list here, a 2650 breakout. That's kind of what we're looking for right now on CGC. So, here, I'll just go with these charts, working a little bit better. This is kind of it's not a multi-day break, but we got up there on some Tilray news on Friday. So now let's wait to see where we go from here. 2650 is a nice level, obviously. So that's going to be something to look at there for CGC. I like everything that they're doing. They talked about, what was it, revenues up pretty huge there. Let me just find the number. Revenue surged by 38% as demand grows. Yeah, of course it does. As demand starts to grow. So I like what CGC is doing. We've talked about them for a long time. I like the acreage holdings. I like everything that they've been doing lately. We talked about, I mean, you may have missed this buy. I'm not putting new money to work right now, that's for sure, but there is an opportunity, again, if it comes back down. We talked about this multi-day break again, and I think it happened when, I think this was it last Monday? I was gonna say, everything happens when was this last Monday, the 25th? Anyways, we had a couple breaks breaks. It was beyond me. We had this one. I only remember because Arun was here, and it was this multi-day break that we liked, 24.40. So now you're up to 26 and change. We're waiting for this break to happen, 28.50. If that happens, all good. But until then, we wait. So 28.50, waiting for that one. But I do like a breakthrough on the high side of 26.50 here for the day. So let's see if it takes out Friday's high of 26.50. I'm a buyer of that.
And if cannabis names are moving, Sundial a lot of times is going to be in play. It's up 8% today, so a bit of sometimes you get the squeeze play on Sundial here, just in that cannabis space because it is heavily shorted, and one of the reasons because it's extremely expensive, not on a stock price basis, but certainly on cost base. It is up to this 110 level. It's a decent level on the daily chart. I think it's going to be one worth monitoring here today. If it gets back to $1, I think it actually has a chance to break the dollar, and then this 95-cent level could be a little bit more interesting to me for possible support. I know usually $1 is where I would set my sights. I tend to think that this 95 could be a little bit more interesting in terms of Sundown. Now, if we push up and get to that 110, and there's that 930 rollover type of trade, which I like to do if it's buying gets in, cannot break that high of the day, and you get a quick little rollover. I like that play. I might prefer it in that VTNR, just to go back over to this one, because I am still actively trading VTNR. I would probably prefer that same type of idea a little bit better with the VTNR, if only because it's rolling through this 980. It's already given me some here at 955 for 25-cent win. So if it pushes, I don't have to wait to the high of the day. It can push in to this like 1020, 1030 area right at the open. And if it rolls over from there, I get a short off of a lower high, as opposed to a breakout price that everyone's going to be staring at on Sundial, which is that 110 level. So both setups look pretty solid. I tend to favor this VTNR, but Sundial, when it's doing volume, always in play, and it's up at like 20 million or so already.
All right, let's continue along. Energy stocks we saw in the pre-market there when we first came on, 3% for crude oil currently. The International Energy Agency coming out saying that just a very cautious warning, talking about demand increasing as we head further into the summer months, June and July, but output apparently to stay the same. So that gap widening, according to the International Energy Agency. So I just brought up Oxy here, guys. 4% in the pre-market here for OXY, XOM as well, nicely higher to start. Definitely higher on the volume scale as well today for some of these energy companies.
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah, crude is up, like you said, they're 3.5%. I look at that 28 level there on Oxy, and I don't mind that at all. Of course, it's a New York stock. Let's go. Oxy there on 28. You can see it's been a multi-day high here. Oh, come on, charts. Okay, let's just go to the daily chart here. I'll call up another charting software here. Here's $28 right there. So it hit a couple times, man, like 28. The last time it hit was back on May 10th, so there's that level as well. May 10th, all the way through. The last time we broke it was back in February, was 28.71. So I'm actually looking at a 28 level here on this name on Oxy. So let's wait to see if that comes through. We'll like it a lot, but that's 28 break on Oxy. And then on XOM, man, XOM's been cruising as well, but lately to the downside, but on a nice little bump today, up 4%. So here's again a daily chart. We talked about, it's still Oxy. We talked about shorting XOM when it was up near 63, 64. We talked about, how many tops? Topped out there, topped out again, and then flew back down, but we still are bouncing off this 50 period. So watch out here for XOM to even take this level 60. So 60 and 28 are the levels I'm looking for here on XOM and Oxy.
Yeah, I mean, Oxy actually like a 20, just to take a quicker, not a quicker shot at it, but I also like to take a shot at this like 27, 30 area, which I guess we'll get to on the 15-minute chart here. You can sort of see the day that it tested that 28 that Sean mentioned, it put in a lower high at that 27.25, 27.30 range. I like to see if I can't play a little bit of that breakout on the way to 28 on the momentum there. Oxy I just find is usually pretty good when it comes to day trading and the momentum reverses. I guess in sort of retrospect to the other names, because it tends to have better moves. Sometimes you can say it's more thinly traded, but I just like the volatility it usually has in there. So I prefer to take a break in this as opposed to XOM, which is usually good for supporting key levels. But I want to break on Oxy 27.30 as my first trade in that name.
Let's talk about Roblox here, guys. We mentioned Boeing already. There was a Cohen upgrade and price target increase on Boeing. Let's go to Roblox because they got an upgrade from Truist Securities and a price target increase to 103. We're back to 94 here in the pre-market. When this came out, it was up here around 96.5, 97. But this has been on quite the run over the past week or so.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we talked about Roblox here on the show and talked about needing to make some long trades on this name? So we like Roblox, that's for sure, but just putting some orders out here. 94.95, I mean, I don't know, I mean, are we gonna get to 100? It came pretty damn close on Friday there. It touched out at 99, basically, right off the open. So I'm expecting some exuberant trading again off the open here on Roblox. So let's watch out, man, up that 0.75, catching some upgrades right now. Wow, I just, you know, we were talking about this chart here, and thank God my kid owns some of this because I don't. But we were talking about this, how ugly it was. It was just up and down, back and forth. But then the minute it broke this 85 or 83, whatever this level was, I guess to be exact, 83.70 there, it's been nothing but love for Roblox to the upside, all the way to this level here. So I think you got to pull back at some point to 90. I don't know if that point's going to be today. It seems like it wants to be strong again into some NASDAQ strength. So I just look out for, like, I mean, we got to get some levels on Roblox. Maybe this 95.70 right here. I mean, 96 if you really want to get specific with it, but we're only at 94.50. I just hope I can remember this name when it starts to come back down. So Roblox right here, I like a 96 break. I hope it can happen. But remember, 184,000 shares. Right now, the spread is fine, but this is going to open up. So that's, you know, definite problem here for RBLX is going to be the spread off the open. But hey, if you like it, I would say, you know, off good news today, you could hold this back here to 93.75. So I would wait to see if it does pull back, which is not even that far. You could pull back. You could even pull back to these bottoms of 92.50. So I'd rather wait for pullbacks than taking this breakout. I think some of this upgrade and stuff like that is a little bit too late. Roblox is already off to the races here. So I look for a little bit of profit taking, and then maybe you're lucky enough to get a long down here. Finally, AMC breaks, guys. So there it is. We got out nicely on AMC for the first time at 31.72. Now we're long again, 31.76 on a break of Roblox.
Yeah, I'm on the bid on Roblox already, in front of that 92.50 area, looking at that 92.75 just in here. And then you have a bit of a target range because you had that low that Sean mentioned, but you also have this level, this 91.50 area, and that was going to be off the morning on Thursday. You got to pull back into that range before the first test up to what I'll call 100, but was really 98. So I got this dollar worth of a range. I want to start long in front of it on Roblox. You give it all the way back into that, we'll call it that dip support, that 91.50 area. So I like Roblox on any kind of a dip, a couple of dollars away from this price.
Checking on Orbital Energy here, OEG. There's also that Vertex Energy we were talking about last week a little bit. They picked up one of Shell's refineries in Alabama, but Orbital Energy Group. Yeah, I'm not seeing any headlines here, but this one, guys. OEG off to the races here in a big way. 360 up to $6. Wow, there's yeah, disregard this. My daily chart is frozen, but OEG, small cap energy stock, just popping up here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big secondary push on. It's now a 10 million in volume, guys. So my daily chart, just to show you guys, because I want to give you guys this quick look before the open. This level here, like 650, 640, you can think about, but the bigger ones are probably going to be that 7 even, and then coming into like a 725 here, which when we see these gaps and you say 65% up, how far can it possibly go? You want to make sure you're looking to see when it does, if it does do another 20% push, which it just did, what are the levels that it might turn around on. So, I mean, I tend to stay away from these ones, at least until they calm down or you get some halt trades or press into a level like that on the daily chart. Much easier to have a look at some of the ones that have consolidated and then maybe gone back to the downside a little bit, both to find support, but also to look for rollover prices. I mean, here, if you're buying a dip, I don't think you're looking at anything but like a 550 in front of these levels, and then maybe even like a 5 even. So VWAP doesn't really matter to me just yet, but OEG, it's going to be all over the radar. Well, I see over 10 million shares, so I'm glad that you brought this one to our attention, Brendan. I think if it gets to 7, that's the level I'd step in front of. Otherwise, you know, you got to have something else in that first 5-10 minutes of the day to get me on the bearish side.
All right, guys, look at AMC right now. It's a money bag central right now, guys. Get on this train if you haven't already. I mean, it's basically free money. Like, I just sat down. As soon as I sat down, it was like, okay, let's start to, you know, actively make some trades here. That was about 8:10, something like that. We instantly bought longs. We were buying on dips. I was waiting even lower. Like, you have to be on this, or I don't know, like breaking 31 something. Like, that was a great break of the previous high there. We talked about those levels levels there. I find them for you in a minute. We talked about all of these levels, and here we go, guys. Just another 50-cent win, man. We've cashed in so much already. We're already one-time daily gold here on AMC. So, yeah, congratulations, everybody holding long over the weekend. Whether or not you went to go watch the movies or not, doesn't matter. They got a capital raise. AMC flying again today, guys. I mean, it just seems like Groundhog Day all over again, Brendo.
Yeah, Scene Mark as well up this morning, interestingly. Speaking of movies over the weekend, CNK, if you want to have a look at that one on the movie side of things. VTNR, 24%. This is the one we were talking about last week. Remember, it was this day they came out and said that they picked up that Mobile, Alabama refinery from Shell. So what is this, day 3 now to the upside? So we're well above this 8 level that ended up being the top on Friday. So a long way back to that 8 level, above that 1050, 11 and change is that high from the pre-market. But lots of volume and activity again in VTNR, guys.
Yeah, and we're involved in that VTNR, so we got to watch that one. That's the one I think I like off the open, but I was just threw it in the chat, so I'll tell you guys right here. BlackBerry, I already talked about how it's not moving as fast. I mean, at least with AMC, and that's why you see Sinmark moving. You had blowout numbers when it comes to Memorial Day weekend, and BlackBerry has nothing to do with that. So this is just a sympathy play, and now it's up 12 instead of 9%. I'm moving the turn to 11.10 here. I think if it breaks that to the downside, this is the one I want to be able to short because it's just not the same story. So thinking that one of them is going to turn around, I like this one for sure in BlackBerry if you have to comparatively pick.
Wow, guys. I mean, this is $30.50 is our first long here on AMC. So it's at $32.50. So that's $2 right now. So we'll hit the diamond hands again as it just keeps on ripping to the high side, man. Like everything all good up in AMC land right now. Wow. Wow. Anybody buying any stock on Friday? Hell yeah on that one, guys. AMC continues to be the beast that everyone wants it to be. And wow, just paying off people right now. AMC, Rip City here to the high side now. So again, guys, congratulations anybody here trading AMC with us or that has been long into this move. It's been absolutely fantastic. And yeah, hopefully you guys are all counting up that money like we are over here for sure. This is like monster trading, man. We're out of half of this trade, and that was a big move to 32.75. We were waiting at 32.91. Remember, big imbalances coming up, guys, right now. Still 1.9 million. What up, Beat?
Yeah, real quick, guys, on Coinbase, they just said you can now use their Coinbase card on both Apple Pay and Google Pay. They're also going to start inviting select customers off of a wait list to get a 4% return, I guess, on their crypto rewards card as well. So Coin just popped up there on volume, guys.
Yeah, but 100,000. I mean, Coinbase still needs to get back that 250 reference price we've talked about before. So that being said, I mean, there's a 240 level right here and right now. And on momentum, that's not a bad little play there. I mean, I want to be trading some NIO and some XPeng and then looking for AMC off of the open. So I don't know that Coinbase is going to quite pass that little buck for me there on that kind of a trade. But we're going to be 3 minutes away from that open. So speaking of Neo, just to come back to it, if we do break the low, I already have an order at 39.25. Now, if we can stall, if it does stall on any kind of rollover, a little bit higher than that, I would try to play the first consolidation that I can. If it happens to be a little bit further away from 39, that would be perfectly fine. You do see, of course, Sean mentioning AMC. This is the first significant pullback is a misnomer here. Pullback that it's had from 33 into 32. But this also corresponds with that high, or that afternoon top, or the morning top, I should say, that 31.50, which is your clear first dip opportunity. We've seen this do that dip right at 9:30 before, so sometimes that imbalance can be a little bit misleading to the buy side, as sometimes they'll sell it off going to the open.
Okay, I'm just getting ready here. Oops, that's the stop price. I'm just getting some orders ready here. We've got to go for some Alibaba lower side here if we can. 23, 22.50. We talked about why we like some 22.50 levels there on Alibaba, so we'll see if that can come through. It's trying to make some bottoms here, so we're going to watch out for Alibaba. Waiting for this 224. Like to see it break some highs, so I don't know. Maybe we will wait up on Alibaba here a little bit. We got to get some orders in on NIO. We already have them in, actually. low side as well. Watch out for the NASDAQ. It still should pop today, but we are going to wait for some bids here to come in for us if we can on NEO. Alibaba CGC, that 2650 level, we like that as well. So let's go back over to that one quickly as we only have a minute and a half to go right now. I don't see anybody on the bell right now with a minute and a half to go, 2650. So that's a CGC level that we like. For that, Boeing and Palantir. So a lot on watch right now, including some of these high flyers, guys. So CGC 2650, I really like that level.
Yeah, and of course, I talked with VTNR, if it gave that pop off the open at 9:30, into that 10 level or into that 10:30 level, I wanted to short it. But this just happened with 2 minutes to go where it popped to 10. So it kind of caught me off guard. I'm usually looking for that buy action to happen at 9:30. But I can't look a gift horse in the mouth here, because if the plan of action is to get some on a buy pop back at 9:30, it makes this kind of a move here and I miss the opportunity, I'm going to take some shares off again. So I got the 79s short. I just took some off at 49. If there's any buying, I'll try it in front of 10 even to the south side again. And if we hang below this price with only 40 seconds to go, and that'll be 940, that can be another short area into this $9 range. So VTNR certainly on my radar off of the open, but it just made that move that I was looking for about a minute too early, guys. And then AMC back to that 31.75. You know that's going to be a key level. If it gets through there, you're probably looking at the 30 even, where I was already sitting in front of the dip. So you have a good idea what we'll do the second time through. NEO just popped below 40. So if it does the dip to 39, you already know the plan of action. As Miss B is on the bell, I don't think we need the green shirt today. The market healthily in a healthy green territory there, up 0.5% or so. Healthily, I don't know. 3, 2, and 1. Let's get the party started. Market is open.
All right, let's do this, guys. Okay, AMC long side now. We're going to wait to see if we get a break there on AMC. So that's going to be one to watch out for, guys. CGC waiting for 2650 to break as well. All things good up in the hood right now. CGC upside, we're waiting for AMC. We did clean out some of that one, so still a little bit to go here on AMC, but that one's moving as well. So back down to 3170, like you said there, Neil.
We'll power it right up. I told you guys I was moving that stop on BlackBerry to go short up to 11.10. We just got 11.10. I got 11.12 when it came down immediately off the open. It slammed the bid. We're able to get 10.95. I do want to just go back here. You can see support pre-market levels at 10.70. So I'm going to throw a 10.70 bid or 10.70 in the mid, 10.77, something along those lines. See if I can't get another flush to the downside there. VTNR, I was unable to get more shares into the short side of that one, but immediately BlackBerry. Look, and that's the thing. Like, if I'm going to play the short side, I prefer to have a name, one of the meme stocks that I like to do it in, and then look for this in the other direction. Now, obviously, I don't know if it actually printed 30 here in AMC because I was watching BlackBerry, but if that's a real print, hopefully somebody caught that. That's an unbelievable long trade if you got that.
No,
is that real? That's not real.
We didn't get anything on AMC there, but yeah, all the way down to 30. I didn't even have any bids, man. That's unbelievable. Okay, we've gotten out of some AMC here, but this is the drop that we're waiting for, like Neil just said, to get back in maybe on AMC. So 28.50 is the level that we're looking at, but there's that 30. So a good little call there, maybe even 30.40 if you're trying to get a little bit greedier with it, but that's a good little level there. AMC, okay, so CGC goes the other way, and then we're going to wait to see what we have on NEO right now as well. So yeah, not even open yet here on NIO. So we'll wait to see where that one's going for now. But NIO upside, if it opens up, we want this to break this 40.30. But hey, man, it needs to open. Damn it. It's just, I wish it would be opening down. You can't take the print now because the specialist, the NYSE, hasn't even opened the stock yet. So we're going to wait for NEO to get open, and then we'll see what we can do. But right now, looking to take out the top. Would love to get a little longer lower, though, NEO.
And here comes that VTNR. Now, the move that I expected to, not expected, the move that I was anticipating possibly happening at 9:30 just happened here, and I'll zoom in. You don't see that. If we get up to this 10 level, there is the 10.30 before, but this short, I got to be taking off 10 even. I just got 77, so a little bit of a terrible price there, to be perfectly honest with you guys. And there's 10, and when that move happens the way that it did, I should have had a price at like 9.85. You just saw live. This is me getting stocked out above that 10 even. So VTNR, it was a good short previously. I tried it again. This should have been a much, much better price here, something like a 9.90 or 9.95. I just got an Oxy long, but just to come back to this name for a quick second, or hold it this name, 10.30 was the next level, and I wanted to defend off of this level. This is the one I liked a little bit better. So you get out only to try to get back in. It's part of what I like to think is a disciplined trade. But first things first, I need to be able to get that fill. I talked about Oxy in the energy space as being the one that I wanted to play because of volatility. There's the 27 quarter 30 break that I was talking about. 33 I just got to the long side. If it holds 27 on a dip, great. We're on the march to that 28 level. I think Sean had mentioned it as well. Will I scalp towards those 50s and those 75s? Obviously, that's going to be part of the plan here, but there's also a bit of a dip by opportunity if you catch a 27 level back in here, guys. Very, very active trade at AMC, because we don't want to get too far away from this name, now powering through 30 even. So, I mean, it's not really catching much of a bid at this point. So I see no support. All I see is an absolute falling rock. I don't know why my level 2 is not, come on, give me a break. My level 2, there you go. Trying to catch a falling rock, and this seems a little bit crazy to me. You're seeing no bids whatsoever. I'm looking at 29 now, where there was decent consolidation pre-market. Long and strong in front of 29. This is a dip I want to buy.
Yeah, we just got out a little bit there of that dip to the downside. So we'll wait to see how many shares we're going to take. But I do like that 29 defense there. So let's wait to see if that does come in. But 29 all the way to the downside there. We just did get some out. That might have been the mistake, though. What's up, Brendan?
Talked about these early strength in energy stocks. Here we go, guys. Oxy 5.7 now. Just took out 27.5 or tested it on a huge volume spike. So here we go for OXY, guys.
Okay, and every now and then this is going to happen to me. I'm sitting here on the bid, did not get anything on AMC, but I can tell you right now, and if it ever happens, just make sure you get all the way out or right away. And I do this on BTNR. 2 bids instead of 1 to cover. I just get out of the long trade reversal. It looks like it's coming back inside, but if you saw me briefly long, that was actually not intentional, so I did scramble to get out of that. It ends up being a winning trade, but look, guys, that's basically a fluke. I'm not intending to make that trade, but I am intending to go upside on Occidental. I just like Oxy as a day trade, so we'll take the breakout long at 27.30. We're heading towards that 28 level. Remember, I know Sean mentioned that level as well. Just got some out again. Why did I hit the crashing plane for Oxy? We got to find a better one for that one. But 27.75, I want to take some out in front of that 3/4. I want to take it all out in front of 28 because that is a level on its own, and the way that I like to trade these is all the way up to that big support resistance level. If I can buy a dip then, I'm looking back to that 27.30. I'm also looking for a potential break at 28 even. So lots of ways that you can play this. Good one here in Oxy. Back over to BlackBerry, however. We were able to get that some out at 10.95. I was bidding down around 10.75, 77s, I think I told you guys there. If it comes back in and gives me a short off the high of the day, I will rinse and repeat, see if I can't get this trade off of the high. But I want a better price than what I got before, not something worse. And of course, tell me you got the dip, Sean, because I didn't get squat on AMC.
Yeah, we got it. I mean, I don't know, we didn't get the best price here, but we did get a price. So we'll wait to see now where AMC goes. We just got out there for that 50-cent winner there on the high side of AMC. So right there, we just take some dips there into the 30 range. Dip. We did get a little bit out there, but we bought more, then we got some out at VWAP. So I'm still waiting the same thing as you, low 29s, and then we'll see if this 28.50 can hold right here. I guess it's 28.30, but more importantly, 28 levels. So if that holds, then we'll be a hallelujah on that one. But until then, we wait. So we're going to wait to see if that can go. I like your Oxy play. That's a good one. Roblox looking to go as well. Neo, is that open yet? Obviously it is. Wow. I mean, this is what we talked about. We just didn't take it, man. Neo looks great. Take top breaks. Well, unfortunately, guys, it broke. We were watching it. I got distracted there. But Neo, nice little move. Let's see if it takes out 41. That seems a little too juicy for me, that 41 level, but it can still take it out. So we'll wait to see if that one's going to come through. But that is NIO right now, ripping to $41. Was not expecting that kind of a move, but there it goes, right through there. So if you have it, daps up on you, but I do not. Damn it! That was one that we wanted. That's
got to be a frustrating one for sure. I just one from last week at LEDS. It's down 11%. It is SSR. Just coming upon a level which I think could be key. And if it gets to this 11.50, you're going to see in the afternoon on Friday. It just tried to hold, 11.65. It tried to hold it. It did for the most part, and we're trying to bounce off that right now. If it gets back up, I'd fade off of 14, but more importantly, 14.60. If you're watching the afternoon show, you know about that level. And then if it breaks 11.65, the floodgates could really open up on LEDS. But it is short sell restricted. Brendo?
Here goes the chip makers now. AMD, we mentioned this move from Friday. It's looking very similar already. Held 81 there in the pre-market, guys. We're up to 82 for AMD.
All right, we're going to... Yeah, we should have had that one. What's up, Neil? What was that?
No, I just aim at 140, and I missed it. Damn it.
Yeah, okay. Look, there's so many levels that we've missed here today. So 22.90, we're going to try to get some Palantir love right now for us as well. So let's see if that one can come through. Palantir right now, a nice little long off of this 22.75. We just put in our stop order to see if we break 75. So obviously we're going to need a little bit longer downside now if it can go. But we have a nice position right now. Palantir 22.92. We get that dip that we wanted. So, not like Neo. Neo goes the other way, but Palantir dips down. This is what we like on this name. So let's see if we can't get it back. I mean, VWAP, we're noticing 23 even. Oh, here we go. Nice little trade on this. Nice win right now, guys. Ride that. Not a bear, it's a bull. Let's go.
Yeah, and I'm just going to come back. I'm going to bid on AMAT. If we get that 140, of course, I like the break. I'm going to like the dip buy into that same level. I have to come back over to BlackBerry. You are seeing AMC just got back below 30 even. Look, I wanted a better price on the short. Obviously, that opportunity might have come and gone. I can play off of this level, which is 11.10. That's where we got it the first time. So if we're consolidating here, I said this is the one I wanted short, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. Now short more shares of BlackBerry, this time below that 11, sorry, at that 11 mark as 11.05 now my average price. And this is what you're seeing on AMC, guys. We're actually starting to come back in heavily to that downside. And I just got the first long. So there's that 29.35, defending that 29 level on a bit of a dip, guys.
Yeah, exactly. So we're same thing, man. We're long 29.59. So we're just long right here. So whether or not this goes or not, we will see. But look what's going though right now. Diamond hands, hopefully. Not really, because we don't have to do anything with Palantir as it just keeps on moving to the upside. Bang! There it is again, man. Chicken dinner winners all over this place here today. Palantir, beautiful win to the upside. What's up, B?
I think Alibaba, guys, is actually leading, but here goes JD.com. Day highs on volume 77. Next stop here for JD, we mentioned.
All right. Yeah, we love some Alibaba. What is Baba doing right now? Let's have a quick look. It wasn't, it's leading to the downside, actually. That's what I was looking at with Alibaba. Like, what's going on there? 222 maybe break on Baba might be something.
Come on, AMC. We tried it. We'll see if we can't get the bull action on this one off of the look. I mean, this wick down here, I mean, 29.33 is what I saw. I had my bid in and threw it in there looking at that consolidation level, and it's going to be 35 all the way down to 29. I was just able to get some out for a quick 30-cent scalp. Now, if it comes up to that 30 range, you got to start thinking about taking some in there. I also want to be buying any dips in front of that 29 that I can get, so we're going to get right back on the bid and rinse and repeat. I don't consider it a hedge, but I mean, in some ways, it's just playing the weakness of the meme names that I thought was unrelated. BlackBerry wants to be up 10% anyways, so we short in front of VWAP. I have a bid at this level, this 1085 area, then again in front of that 1075. So we're going to try and rinse and repeat that. Oxy was looking fantastic, and don't get me wrong, that break was sort of in the midst of working out nicely. Now we're right back. I mean, we're back below that 2750 mark, thinking about that 2730 or VWAP dip trade. So I will be buying the dip. Like I mentioned earlier, on Occidental, trying to stay long and make some trades on the way to 28. I want to be long through that 20 or to that 28 level, taking a break, but also buying the dip in front of VWAP on Occidental.
Yeah, we're in trouble here a little bit on AMC as we're, we're not in trouble, but as it comes to the low side here, 28.50, trying to find out what we want to do here. 28 break, we got to get out of this one. But right now, AMC rocking and rolling and killing people on the downside here. So we are long right now, 29.34. So, I mean, it's not, is it horrible? No. But is it great? No. So we're going to wait to see where we can go from here with AMC. But 29.60 right now we're stuck a little bit long. So we do have some outs here, but it's not going to be till 28, guys. So let's wait to see if that happens. 28, looking for an out here on AMC, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here like just the same thing as you, buying that dip, seeing if I can't catch a little bit of a bounce, and I'll take every single 25 to 30 cent move. I'm going to start to take some off. Now, if that's going to be heading to the downside, and like I said, it's not necessarily a hedge, but BlackBerry going the other way, so I did just get that 1086. I'm going to get more shares out in front of 75s, and there goes AMC on a bit of a reversal. So this is what we do. Every time I buy it, I'm going to take some off for a scalp trade. If I'm working counter trend here in front of what is that first cluster of support, I mean, 28.80. In this 50-cent range, 29.35. That's the cluster of support. I got to make sure if I'm buying in the dip, I'm going to scalp some off. If it gets to 30, I want to hold some through a VWAP break because we've seen this flush out before, guys, where it does that wipe out off of the open, and that was your best chance to get in. So I want to stay net long while also taking some profit on the way up to this 30 range and see if we can't take advantage of it. Oxy, in the midst of that, look, am I going to be able to get the dip buy in Occidental? I thought we were going to get it there. while AMC was making its move. Obviously, I mean, I'm about like 10 cents away from catching this off of VWAP. Now it's headed towards its high, but my plan of action is to be flat in front of 28 even. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, guys. Oxy off to the races, but I did miss that dip buy.
Okay, we're monstrous right now, guys. Very, very monstrous. Palantir's big, man. And we loaded up, guys, on AMC. We talked about that. I said I probably had too many shares there on this name, but there's a nice little win for us on AMC as it continues to want to go upside right now. So let's wait to see if we can get it, man. Let's go. AMC 30. Look where we're long, man. 29.27. We had like one of our biggest positions we've had in a while on AMC on the downside. So that's, again, another one. Let's just keep on dapping ourselves up here. And hopefully you guys are the ones making the money, not just us, on a big, big day here. We're super, super happy with the way today's pairing out. Also going back and forth, you're going to see Neil and I back and forth in CLDR. So I'm just taking some shorts and getting out. Free money there. Neil talks about that all the time. So, but right now, AMC long and Palantir long, guys. 80 cents and 25 cents in the money.
Yeah, I mean, AMC now, well, it just got to that 30 level, so I did take profit like I said I was going to, but I needed to break through VWAP. I'm still buying dips, guys, but you might have to think about that 29 in particular instead of that like the 28 level, a little bit lower than there. VTNR, just to come back to some of the names that are also moving. I know we got out of that one. The last trade was a long. That was a bit accidental. It was entirely accidental. I wanted to be on the short side of the trade. It is holding this 1030 level, at least for the time being. So another test here. The new high I'm seeing is a top wick made at 1050. So I think I'm shorting off at 1050 at this point on VTNR if it even gets there. But there's plenty enough action between BlackBerry and AMC to keep me, I guess, interested. Over to Coinbase. Wow, there's a lot of dark pool wicks that are kind of crazy. There's that 240 break. So, I mean, if you jumped over there, I already told you guys I was going to like BlackBerry and AMC off of the open a little bit better. And I don't regret that decision because it's been a good one. But the 240 break did give you nice that $4 move that we always see. $4 to $5 moves in Coinbase. That tends to be what you get. If it pulls back, you probably want to take like a 41 or so. Ignore these wicks. That's pretty ugly with dark pool prints. And then it still hasn't broken that 245. Would love to see Coinbase close above 250 on the session today.
Guys, this is just like cash money here, man. Like AMC now $1 now in the money. Let's go. I mean, we're loving every single minute of this AMC trade, guys, as it just keeps on pumping us up, 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 up and away. We gave you that out. That was a fantastic one. Look at Palantir as well, guys. 23.17. So we only really been trading three stocks today. Cloudera, AMC, and now Palantir. 29.90, 22.90 bottom there. Good out. AMC, though, we got to keep getting out of this one. So although we like AMC, it's pretty high. We got up to VWAP there. We've been rinsing and repeating. We already have 33 trades right now on AMC. So lots happening for me over here. And this name, we like it, and we like it a lot. AMC working for me today, my number one stock.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. It's a fantastic one. And I just want to come back over that XPEV. XPeng, it's XPeng, I call it XPEV, I apologize, guys. That 3350 bottom, it still hasn't broken. I mean, we spiked to the upside, failed, and then that 3350 is still holding, so I need a breakdown. I'm not shorting this unless it actually breaks the low. Brendo, what's up, bud?
Another one we looked at in the pre-market, guys, this SoFi. It's interesting. We see this time and time again. When these stocks flip over to their forever symbols, SOFI in this case, they get sold. So some profit taking here, but we're back to 21. Big level in the pre-market for SoFi, guys.
I didn't even check for locates on that one, which I probably should have.
I
assumed we'd have them, but so we just go back to XPeng, and then NEO is the other one, which we don't want to ignore completely. Never found my way into that long because it was only the break. So you're going to get you maybe get a support level down to like 41 if it comes back in. I almost don't like it if you see that price too quickly there, guys. And then over to a bit of a missed reload opportunity. And now BlackBerry, I talked about it when it got to 11. It just ticked back up to like 1095 and then rolled over again. So bit of a missed opportunity to reload and stay short that name. Brendan?
Airlines starting to go as well. We mentioned the reopening type of idea. CCL was one that had a bit of a buy imbalance. At the open here is $60 up here for United, guys, up 2.6%.
Okay. Yeah, so I look, I do want to look at all these names, guys, that's for sure. But right now, AMC continues to be the one that I'm most concerned with as that's rocking and rolling to the upside. So good on that one. AMC continues to march higher. So looking at that, just clearing up some of our other orders that we have on board here. But AMC, nice mover. Palantir, a nice mover. Let's check out on NEO again. These are just some names. I'm just going through my own watch list. Damn it, we've missed NEO. I like the Alibaba long if you're looking for a trade to break through this 222 area. So 222 222.30. I like that long, so we'll wait on Alibaba. If that comes through, that'll be pretty good. But for right now, Alibaba long through 222, that's a name that we like. And then I'm really glad that we emptied out of a lot of our AMC at the top, guys. So that was good. I was not expecting that kind of a move. We'll get longer if it comes back to 29. That's my gameplay there.
Yeah, I'm going to flush this one down the toilet. And look, guys, let's keep it real. You guys know, you've seen it. I got mine. It is what it is. Back and forth, pick one. There we go. I got my BlackBerry, but look, it's an Android phone. Whatever, it is what it is. We just got to that low of the day. Pre-market level at 1070, so the short working out just fine. It's not necessarily that it was a hedge. I thought they could move in opposite directions here, and that's why we talked about BlackBerry. AMC at least had the big openings over the weekend. Anyone watch Cruella? I didn't actually see it, but it looks fantastic. 1070 here now broken. If it gets down to like a 1030, 1040, I'd probably get all flat here, expecting a bit of a lower, to hold at least that $10 range from the afternoon on Friday. I mentioned that I would, if I played the short in the EV space, much like BlackBerry short, I wanted the neo long, never got it. XPeng was the opposite direction here. Short in XPeng, I wanted the neo long. I just got it when it broke the 33.50 bottom. So through the low of the day, I'm short at the low of the day, at least the current low. We'll see if we can't get this one to maybe come back into those afternoon levels at 33 even, and that's what I'm looking at if you go back into the afternoon, well, in the morning, I suppose, the highs on Friday. And I'll give it back to this 33.75 to 80 area where it has VWAP as well. So XPeng to the short side, that's a new position alert for me. Kind of obviously the first EV name should have been a neo long, but it is what it is. We take what we can get. Short XPeng here.
Yeah. Damn it, that sucks that we missed out for that one. Let's just chat. Well, we missed out on a lot of trades today there, including Oxy right now up to 27.90, looking to take out that 28. We talked about why we like that 28. It's right here. So let's take an order through 28 if it can go. Right now, oil's still busting up now, up 3.5%. Looking at 28 here for OXY, Occidental. Could be a good one, guys. So we're going to wait for that. And then other than that, man, Cloudera, AMC still 70 cents in the money, but Palantir's come all the way back in. It's time to reload it. Look at the NASDAQ, though. Wow. Big drop down for NASDAQ, so that has to be considered, too.
Yeah, I mean, the second you said that, I immediately went back over to AMAT here just because, and look, off the open, I apologize. You're going to see some of these wicks that come through. 139 had a lot of dark pool action, so some of these late prints coming in. I'm canceling my bid, which is no longer relevant in front of 140. As the NASDAQ starts to drop back in, the ES as well, I'm looking at relative strength over here in AMAT, but it can't even get into VWAP here. So I might have to pull back from that trade, let it settle down. I still love AMAT, obviously, but you are seeing this reversal tend to come in. On the other hand, AMC is now $2 in the money. Brendo? Oh, Valeria, my bad.
Hey Neil, Marathon Oil is another name that is spiking. MRO is up more than 10%, guys.
So I mean, this is sort of like a pick your poison type of thing, and we talk about this all the time, that you should have, whatever the space is, it's not that you have one stock I like to the long side, one stock to the short, but what's your preference for trading? You know, obviously I decided to choose Oxy, which is fine. I'm up on Occidental today. But Marathon has just broken, and it's good that you guys mentioned this because Marathon just broke its high at 1340, but 1350 the current high of the day, and it has to sustain that move. I don't know why this always happens. So we'll go away from AMAT here just to quickly show you. There isn't a tremendous level. I mean, if this was like 1 million shares sitting here, or like 500,000 because it's only done 10, that'd be a more significant level here. But I do feel like it's psychological 1350, bit of a barrier, and you might catch a bit of a pullback here. Now, if I didn't believe the oil sector, different type of a move, this was like a parabolic moving stock. There was a small cap or something along those lines, I might be thinking about the short reversal to 1350, but I'll stay away from it altogether and not play that short trade just because of the way this nature of that space. If you come back into 13, I like to dip by, but Oxy's been my jam, so I might just stick over to that name in particular. I know Marathon is moving a little bit more. I talked about AMC just a quick second ago, a couple of bucks in the money here. Look, at this point, I didn't get this dip because it only came to 29.50. I thought we'd get closer to that 29. If we can catch something in that same range, I'll be very happy over that 30 level. But I'm hanging on to this to see if we can't get back to that 32, at least 32 area where you had that big rollover off the open. We thought this might flush people out. I don't want to get out of this too soon. We want to hang on to see if we can't get a bit of a home run. So, I mean, Sean likes to talk about the diamond hands. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of those when it comes to AMC. XPeng, I don't know. This is really not doing anything. It's consolidating off of the low. I'm going to resist the temptation to add to this trade. I still only want to give it back to about that previous pre-market high, that 33.75. If it breaks that, I'll just be gone. It's about a 30-cent hit here that we'll give it. I thought it'd be a tight stop. After it pushed so high, I want to tighten that stop up, which I just did. Brendo?
You can really pick any of the energy stocks, really any of them. Here's Suncor, of all things, SU in New York, almost back to recent highs here, 24.35, so about 10 cents away, but a nice move here. 4% if you missed it. Here's the headline, guys. OPEC agreeing to stick to existing output cut plans for June and July when the International Energy Agency is saying that demand is going to increase. So that's a 3.5% move in oil, guys.
Oh, Oxy. Yeah, I'm just kicking myself because here's Oxy. Like, I actually got out at 85s, and it gives you like 95s, like right up to 27.96. So, you talk about those key levels, and Sean mentioned that 28 level. We talked about the breakout. This is why you get out in front of it. And I mentioned this is going to be the one I'm trading over Marathon. Fair enough. Marathon is a bigger mover. Congratulations to all of you guys that had a look at that one first. If we do come into VWAP and can defend it, I'll first look at that 27.50 for the dip. I still like that 28 break if we get it. But obviously you're seeing it reverse off that price now, which does give us a shot at the dip buy that we wanted. And then we can always take that 28 break if it does come through. Like, this has been clearly an active morning. Always good. Take a little bit of a breath, calm down, sit back, relax. I'm not sipping any cognac, and we can't do that as long as this Neo eludes me. I can throw away that dip buy bid because that's kind of hilarious. I'll need to be sitting in front of 39 when it's at $41, but a Neo pulling back in here, trying to consolidate off VWAP. Watch out for like 40.75. I think there's a shot to play this off that 75 level. And the market's starting to come back in. That's why I was hunting for a better price. But I'll just go ahead and see if I can't take like 41 and change. Give me something 41 and change. I don't want to chase it too far. There we go. You just get something in front of that 41. Give it to that 41.75, sorry, 40.75 area on NIO just to get into this game a little bit here, guys. If it bounces off VWAP, you look at a 41.50 top, try to make 30, 40 cents there, maybe even 25, start that trade alongside. And then if it breaks, again, 41.50, probably off to the races.
Yeah, we're really happy with some of these performances today here, including our friend AMC is now diamond hand a little bit, $2.25 now into the money. Man, we still, damn it, wish we still had this one, obviously. As the market rips up, we always wish we still had our longs, but we don't. Well, we do, but we don't have the majority of them. We got them out here. I was not expecting this, so we got diamond hands on part of these, but not on all of them. So here it goes right to the upside. That's a good trade for us. Nvidia, though, a bad one today. Not a bad, we're not in it, but a bad one for many that are, as this doesn't seem to want to rip, guys. Nvidia right now having some problems taking out that high of the day. Obviously, it just been straight to the downside here. Check out the NASDAQ. Like, if you want to know why things may be falling here, check the NASDAQ out. We did get some more Palantir. We got some out. So double dip buys here. And now, look, if this NASDAQ doesn't bounce, man, I feel no ways about getting some of this out right now on Palantir, 4, 5, 6, 7 cents. So that's what we did. Let's wait to see NASDAQ just tanking right now, Brendo.
I just want to point out a comment here, guys, for CGC. I just noticed CGC almost day lows here, so it did test 25.10 there off the open. But yeah, the CEO made some comments during the call, apparently little concerned. He's a little bit concerned by COVID-19 headwinds lasting into Q1 revenues for CGC. So that's the 3.6% negative side, guys, for CGC.
There was something I was forgetting, and that was going to look, I mean, I'm not really forgetting Sundial. There's just better names that are moving here, guys. But obviously, it did give that trade where it tested 110 and then is rolled over. But look, I mean, 4 or 5 cents of movement on Sundial. You can probably guess why we're more involved in some other names here, guys. And I was able to get some more shares of NIO. That's all I'm going to take. Zoom back in off of this 41 level off of VWAP. Like you said, if it breaks that 3/4, I'll be out. Otherwise, we just want to be able to get a bit of a scalp trade. I was able to take a few shares out on the way back up here. It bounced off this level off of VWAP here, and I took a quick 10-cent scalp every 10 to 15 cents. That's like how we like to play it. That allows me to rinse and repeat. I can actually jump in front of the bid here again and then use the same stop that we had already at that 40.75. But you can't sit here and after missing out on that trade and just sort of chase it forever and say an average into death. Obviously, there was a better opportunity off the open to be had, so I don't want to give up too much chasing this Neo trade, but I do want to be able to scalp it inside of this range, 40 to 75 here. So going to get more long as it continues to push down, taking 10, 15 cent winners, but ultimately if that 75 goes, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and same thing here, basically, guys. We're waiting to look for longs here. We did get some more Palantir out, so that's going to be a good one. Walking on water there. We've only traded Palantir and AMC today, so everything else we're just waiting for. BOBA's on the downside right now. I mean, the market obviously taking off negatively here as I'm looking for something to get into. Maybe we'll take advantage of this dip and get some NEO right now as that just dropped down. Oh, man, we missed it. Oh,
yeah, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just going to hit. Oops. Okay, whatever, man. I meant to hit a different key there. That's fine. We'll go with that one. Those are Bitcoins. That's why it doesn't actually make any sense for NIO unless they, in the last 5 minutes, decided they were accepting Bitcoin for payment. I don't think they are. We talked about just a couple of seconds ago trying to get more shares. Missed. Trying to get some out for the scalp trade. Hit. So in this range, I'm going to continue to long at the bottom end, these 85 to, I guess, 95s, maybe even 41 even. Take some out if you can on the top end of the range here, this 40.25. Hold it through the high of the day if you can get that, guys. So decent little trade here over in NIO. I can tell you the other side because, look, I'm still short that XPeng. It broke. Either I'm getting out at 30.75. I mean, I told you guys my stop would be at that 3/4. It goes to 74 and then turns around. That's a little bit of luck. This ends up working out for me to go down to 33 here. I mean, I'll have to remember when I'm thinking about this trade that I was 1 penny or 2 cents away from getting stopped out when I picked that level. So decent pick, but sometimes that's a little bit of luck if this one ends up working out for me. If it doesn't, likely means NIO is fantastic or even better than it is.
Yeah, we love some NIO, obviously, all the time. We love that stock. Good trade there for sure. Okay, so Palantir, the double dip buys, we go right back to VWAP. So whenever that happens, we put an offer there, and we just look to get out, guys. I mean, this is how we trade this. We're going to continue to trade it like this, and it's worked out for me. So, hey, let's just keep the party started right now on NIO and keep the party going here on Palantir. So good trade there. Facebook on the way down. XPEV makes the move back up. Oops, I clicked on the wrong symbol there. So there's XPEV, 33.62. Really? I mean, a lot of stocks not really coming in for me.
Oh, shoot.
I did want to look at Alibaba quickly as well. Nah, man. I mean, I'm still waiting for this to break. I mean, a lot of these stocks heading to the downside right now. So a lot of work still to be done here, but missed opportunities abound today as we still have our AMC, but we should have got that out at that same level again, 31.75. So let's put an order 31.50 and just clean out of this NIO trade. We need to make some money here, guys. Or sorry, on this AMC trade, 31.40, 31.50. Let's put an offer there.
Yeah, I'm going to get an offer in front of 41.50 myself on NIO, but halting to the upside. Good look, guys. I mean, Brendan was all over this OEG mentioning it, and we did briefly talk about it, but a volatility halt looks like about 3 minutes before we open back up again. But it's actually shy of the current high of day at that 630 level. So this gets pretty spicy for me because, you know, not only do you have that whole patented play, you know, open a little bit lower, use that halt price of 608 as your stop, but now you can actually give it to that 630. If this opens below 6, below the 608, has some trouble, I'm shorting it off of that 630 level, guys. So watch out for OEG. In the meantime, let's send you to Brendan for happening now because it's already 10 o'clock.
Yeah, there was a number that just came out there. ISM Manufacturing Index for last month, 61.2 versus 60.5. So a beat there on an ISM number. Watch the overall market. You can see we are nicely higher on the day, 1.4 to the upside. That's actually the TSX here in Toronto. Brazil actually 1.4% as well. The Russell actually leading for U.S. markets, 0.9 to the upside. The Dow half, the S&P 500 there, 0.4 to the upside. NASDAQ, both the composite and the 100, about 0.3 each in positive territory. So a good start to the holiday shortened week here. XPEV, yeah, we saw that try to bounce there off of 33.5 back above 33.60, but here we go. Day lows coming, it looks like, for XPEV off of delivery numbers. Remember, all three were better than expected there. Boeing trying to get back to the upside as well. 254 just breaking once again for the second time, guys, for BA.
XPEV collapsing like the Leafs effort. No, wow. Whatever, man. These guys try hard. You know what? I'm going to make a bit of a mini rant here. I'm not a big hockey guy, but I can't stand it when people are like, these guys didn't want it enough, blah, 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 all that other nonsense. It's complete garbage. Those guys actually, you know, played their best. If they come up short, fine. It's no different from the rest of us. We have our good days, our bad, but it's never for a lack of effort, guys. And it's not for a lack of effort that XPeng is trying to make a move to the downside here, but it just turned at 33.20. I had a bid in front of that 33, actually at 33.11. You can actually see here on my chart. if we get a push down through 33, I want to hang on to that, see if we can't get a bigger win. But the story, for me at least, in the last couple of seconds, that came to the downside, was NEO. I was trying to get more shares out in front of 41.50. I did not. It then turned at 30s, and this is that retest at VWAP. So my stop remains exactly where it was before, that 40.75, but I have bought the dip one more time. Eventually, this could cost me like 25 to 30 cents, but that was kind of a big miss. I should have had that at 30 for more of a scalp trade. You can't sit there wanting to scalp and then miss your opportunities, guys. But I can't complain about this morning. It's been a good one, and then, you know, BlackBerry here, which... And we talked about this off the open. If one was going to be weak, this is the one I wanted. It has broken the low 1, 2, 3 times this pre-market bottom at 1065 without actually following through. So at some point, I need this to give me the follow through down towards 1050, where I think I'm going to have to take some more shares out. It's not usually one of the meme stocks where I'm sitting in like a short trade that failed at 930, but I feel like BlackBerry could fall into that category. And we just opened back up, or sorry, it just opened back up on OEG. I talked about playing the weakness. It just tested 630. If it opened about below 6 even, I probably would have been shorted it right then and there, but it opened above that 608, I guess, halt price, and it's now breaking through the high. So there's no entry for me on the short side of the trade until we get back below that halt price at 608, if not 6 evens.
Yeah, okay. So CGC falling down. Same thing on NEO, just waiting for a little bit lower. This 40, I mean, good trades off VWAP, that's for sure, as it's coming to the upside now, so that's a good one. Palantir, we're still waiting for that to do something, and it's not. So what about Tilray? I was just looking at Tilray. Like, we can look back at CGC here, still looking for those highs, but again, just coming back to the downside. Brendan talked about why that was. So Tilray right now, that's going to try to remain a little bit high, I guess, here on Tilray. So we'll wait to see if that prints this 1740 area spot here. That could be a good one, but again, not in love with this trade. Cannabis just doesn't seem to want to go right now. You got to trade better stuff, things that are actually moving. Let's check out on Microsoft. Again, I don't know if this is actually moving or not, but this is at that 250 level, another level that we really like, 250 here on Softy. So that bounces right off that level. Now you're coming back to the downside, so maybe there's some levels here, but again, not really moving. What about Square? I mean, oopsies, that's New York. What am I doing? SQ there, yeah, New York. Okay, so we'll have a look at Square. It was up to 224, yeah, so still not doing much, man. AMC, I guess we just got to look at AMC. Like, that was a good trade off the open, but look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's going to turn red here, right? Yeah. So really the only thing that's working, I mean, everything's working, but in a red market, if you want to go long, just look at these meme stocks, man, because everything else right now following the market to the downside. So that's a good. I
got one for you that's headed up, Sean. You're going to like this one too, because it's, I mean, oh my, Roblox. I'm only mad because, again, I threw my dip buy in here. And this is going to happen to you. When you're trying to buy the dip in front of an aggressive area like that 92.50 to 93, I mean, I'm sitting there at 75. A lot of times what you want to see is, if you're focused on just that one stock, you're going to sit there, and when it starts turning like 30 cents above, you just take it. Like, there's no point in sitting out that entire trade when it gave you that push. But look out. 97.5 is going to be the current high of the day. Sorry, 97.40 is the current high of the day on Roblox. But there are some levels to watch out for above that, because you go to last week, that's 99. It never actually got to 100. It just feels like it's a matter of time before it does. But it has to break 97.40 before that happens. I like 50s as a break, as opposed to the actual high of the day here, but you can't ignore this nice little wedge pattern forming, or bull flag, whatever the heck you want to call it. I really could care less. It's 97.50 long for me on Roblox after we've missed the dip buy again. Brendo, what's up?
Dollar Tree, big mover here. DLTR up more than a full percent, held 97.5 at the bottom there, just ripped right through to 98.5. There was multiple upgrades on this today, guys. JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Guggenheim all making moves on DLTR today after a big move following earnings, if you remember, last week, guys.
Guggenheim, you say?
Yeah, Guggenheim, not fun. Okay, so AMC there, we just went longer there on AMC, so we just took another bid. Oh, no, we didn't. We didn't get filled yet, did we? No, we did not. We should have, though, through 31. Oh, it was 30.40. I put the wrong price. We want to go long here, so let's take... Are we frozen right now? We might be a little bit frozen, guys. Some of my orders just took a second time there to get filled, but there it is. Okay, so we go long. I don't know what price we just got there. That was a little bit of a bad execution. 30.36 is there. So, okay, so we got a decent price, but that was a late fill there. So watch out, guys, if you are trading there for AMC. 30.46, that was our last long, 30.36 actually. So a nice little move upside. Look, do we want to take 20 cents on this? Maybe. Let's get out some around the 50s. We do have a nice nice price here. So if we can get out, there it is. So nice little price. And there it is, a nice bump up. Let's go AMC. We just took a nice little long there, 30.30. It just bumped up 30 pennies. So let's just keep on watching AMC as that looks to fly high, man. 30 cents in the money again on this name. Just keep on buying AMC, it seems like.
Oh my goodness, we fly high. No lie, you know this. AMC, man, I'm glad you got this, Sean, because these levels shouldn't be so obvious. When this pulls back off 32, and then this lower consolidation was like 29.65, and then it bounces on a dime in front of it, if you're only trading one stock, you don't want to miss those dip opportunities. I'm glad you got that one, Sean. But if it comes up to 31.50 again, I'm not going to look that gift horse in the mouth. Well, I mean, I guess I already did like several times, but I got to take that off if I can get it, because you're talking about like over $2 winner. I'll take that price if we can. Look to be able to play inside of this range and take advantage of it. I don't want what happened in NEO to happen to me over in AMC, where I had a chance to get 41.30s here. We didn't do that. Now I'm buying the dip one more time. I will continue to scalp this off for like those 10, 15, 25 cent wins on on NIO here, guys. But I can tell you, I would have thought that if NEO wasn't working, that XPeng, would be giving me that fill. Now this is a dark pool print. It never actually got through 31.10, so it's continuing to slide to the downside. But I'm not actively trading it the way I am in IO. This is a one and done style trade for me. I'm just disappointed. It's doing absolutely nothing. No real flush here, despite NEO trying to pull back. Brendan, what's up, bud?
A little small cap renewable energy stock, Sun W, going again here. We've had this one a couple of times on the show, but 10.8% already. Just took out day highs, 950 there on a volume spike for Sun W. Not seeing much in the way of news though on this one, guys.
And I just got roadblocked, so that finally happened. And then look, this is me making the high of the, well, not really, because I guess I got 54s. The high of the day is 57. So my long entry is not the top wick. That's about the only thing going well for that long here, guys. But you're seeing roadblocks. Try to dip back in. If it cannot hold, I mean, it's 1, 2, 3 times on these pullbacks. It's held 96 3/4. If it cannot hold that, I'm likely to get out of this trade and hunt for something around that 96 level. But sort of first things first. Every time I take a breakout trade, I always leave myself some room for a bit of a dip buy. But if it can't hold first level, I'm out. We'll get out of roadblocks and then look for the next trade. I always say that if you miss the big move or the first move and you really liked it, you can't then sit there and get married to, whatever that next trade is. You have to trade for what is there, guys. And obviously the breakout, not nearly as good as buying that dip, which we preferred on that Roblox. Now, obviously, you're going to see, obviously you're going to see NIO start to pull back. I'm not changing a thing. If we break 40.75, I am all out of this stock. It looks like it's rolling over. That means XPeng should be going okay. I also told you guys I'm not touching OEG until it breaks that 6. It just did, so I get a 97 short trade. And again, you could have had this roll over off the high of the day, not the way that I traded post-halt. I want to see it actually break those levels. It does. You're going to see a quick little scalp trade in there. So I'm bearish on this name after the halt trade and then the failure to hold that or break and then hold above that high of the day. It could bounce off VWAP. That's why I'm going to scalp it all the way down to there and at that 550 level. So in and out. Hopefully quickly on this OEG. Very, very active, 60 million shares. Let's take advantage of that volume while there.
Okay. Yeah, I still have a few orders here that I can't cancel, so I'm wondering what is up with some of these, but I'll figure that out myself at some point here. I'll just give it to Greg and see what he can do. Where's my copy cell? Okay, and sometimes you have these problems, right? You got to slow down and figure out what's going on. But okay, back to AMC. We just did take another long there at 30. So our average price right now 30.30 on AMC. So get those 30.30 clubs going right now and see how high we can go up. Let's go AMC. We're right back to In the Money. What up, Beep?
Another one that came up in that Chinese regulator note this morning that was talking about online educators. TME 4.7%. Again, day highs here on volume. So some of the selling seems to be drying up a little bit, guys.
And I will continue to do fist bump here, and this one's for you, Brendo. Now, there's that OEG. I'm able to get some more shares out in front of VWAP. Now, at this point, I'm going to move a stop here. Now, usually, I'm giving it back towards that, whatever the recent crest was, 625 or that high of the day. That's your target area for an out. I move this now to just above break even, so that 6 even area. We'll see if we can't get down towards fresh lows, but you got to move those stops whenever you're actively trading like I do. I tend to feel like if it bounces off VWAP in this particular case, giving it all the way back and losing an extra 20 cents never makes any sense to me, so there's no way I'm going to do it here. Coming back over to AMC, which is in the midst of a bit of a pullback, and I said I wouldn't look the gift horse in the mouth if it got to 31.50. It clearly hasn't done that. We're now headed right back towards this 29.65 area. I'll give it a shot to bounce off this price, and if it can do that, I'll try to catch it at like 75, 80s after it's bounced, not necessarily before. And then NIO, there it is. We'll do this for NIO. Now, obviously, it gave you lots of opportunity to scalp out. I only got the win one time. I then bought the dip twice. Abject failure to not take more profit on the upside here on my part in NIO. Does it matter that I happen to have XPEV short? And NIO is doing that on the rollover, and XPeng is doing this, and I got none of this. I mean, I'm already short at this particular price, but not catching any here when Neil stopped me out. I could have quickly maybe punched into some shares at 33.50. I'm going to play the short side a little more aggressively on XPEV, and then XPeng, and start shorting some of these pops. I want to be in that long Neo trade. Once it broke down, I have to start thinking about the other side of this, and my pick was short in XPeng, not NIO. So we'll see if we can't short any pop into VWAP on XPeng.
All right, yeah, just looking here at a few different things. Okay, Mark Roberts won't be with us on Wednesday, that's fine. Okay, so we did pick up some Neos here on the downside. So just like Neil was saying there, we're gonna hold this a little bit though. Our average price 75. Now we're gonna give it back to 40-40 club. So back down here, we'll see. It just did rip to in the money for us. It went up to 40.85 there. So that was a chance to get some out, but we didn't. So let's wait to see. We are long at 40.75. On NIO. So it's not too far out of the money. It's only 10 cents. But yeah, we've missed a big opportunity here in the morning. We talked about taking high breaks, but look at this NASDAQ. It's already turned, like it's turned red. There's nothing else we could do. I mean, this is basically, other than like basically 2 or 3 opportunities to go long here, you've really missed the boat on some of these longs. So if you're not long already and made that money, just be very, very careful. I'm starting to get light on everything. Like, you know, obviously our Palantir, we're out of Palantir as that breaks the bottom. But again, no, we're still up on Palantir. You can see that on the board. So actually still up pretty good on Palantir today. So we didn't have too much left, down to 22.50. I'm not going to average into this one, although I do like this level on Palantir, guys. Back to 22.50. There's no doubt, or sorry, yeah, 22.50 with 50 period at basically at 22 even. So maybe this is worth it, but we're kind of dug into Neo right now. So we don't want to have too many stocks to the long side here, especially if they're failing. We'll take another bid on Neo soon, but fail right now. There it is. So we get another bid through Neo. If it breaks through 40.40, man, we got to get out. Right now, Neo to the downside. Though, look at this market. Yeah, Puke City.
Yeah, Puke City, but I can give you one stock that just bounced. I mean, it was puking earlier, that VTNR. We're now back towards this 940 level, believe it or not. We just bounced through 9 both ways. There was that short off 1040. Obviously, that's going to be come and gone. I got out of my short for a loser, reversed into a quick little long accidentally. Now I want to play off of this VWAP level and this little cluster that was around here, 965. So shorting the pop here in VTNR as we head into VWAP. I just got 938. So you're not necessarily seeing me getting into any new names, but revisiting some of the names that we've been getting into in and out. Now, I try not to talk too much about it because you got a lot of traders are going to wonder what the hell is going on here in Cloudera. So I'm just going to show you guys this one time. Market making is a thing where you can get in and out in position, adding liquidity, maybe making a rebate, or taking some growth, which I've been doing a bunch of in Cloudera. Now it has a relatively tight range, as you can see by this. I'm going short and long all over the goddamn place, guys. So if you do see a lot of executions, I've made 245 all on the side. This is mostly muscle memory for me because I've been trading buyouts for years and years, but there isn't any movement that you guys can take advantage of unless taking a couple of cents in spread, and the spread is advantageous to you as a direct market access trader. I can do it here. That's why you see me flip in and out of it all the time here, and Sean as well. So it is just essentially spread trading on that particular name. There's no momentum to be had. It's being bought. It's likely to trade in the 5-10 cent range for most of the day. Back to BlackBerry. I still haven't gotten this 1050 level, so as good as the short has been, it is not quite to the gates of hell, although it's about 10 cents away from giving me that. I have not reloaded into this trade one time. Well, sorry, I did do it one time, but that was way back at 939. Since then, it hasn't even sniffed that $11 area. Just been fading all morning long, which I kind of thought it would do. AMC strong, BlackBerry not so much.
No, not so much. Okay, so yeah, Neo right now. Yeah, AMC, remember AMC and BlackBerry like almost, you know, completely AMC has tons of
Almost.
momentum. Yeah, I mean, we'll wait to see where that goes. But we're still holding on to our NEO right now. We got to get some out here. If it comes back to the upside, we were digging in down here. So if we can get a little bit out, where did I put my offer there? In the 60s. Backside, where are we long at? 70. So if we can get some out like mid 60s, that'll be okay. We'll lick a little bit of these wounds on the downside here, but then we'll have enough left that we can't. There it is. So nice. So good out there. We got out of 20%. Now our average price 66, much more manageable. I don't mind taking more long, but we were very, very close to getting stopped out. So if we can make some money back there, I think it's obviously worth it for us to do just that. AMC dips down. We miss our buy again at 50, but we're still going to be here. Let's wait to see where this one goes now. We're long at 30.30. We've said that over and over again. Wouldn't mind this one getting back some love back to the upside here on AMC. So we'll just wait, man. I mean, right now we got to wait. It's a waiting game for me. AMC, Cloudera, NEO, Palantir. We talked about that 50. There's the 50 break. It goes down to 45. I'm a little more nervous about Palantir because today down 1.75, much more than the actual NASDAQ. So that's something that I don't like.
Look, and we talk about relative strength and weakness being an important part of the game all the time, and you should always be sort of making that assessment because we've turned negative on the the NASDAQ. And the ES, I kind of said, I kind of getting ahead of myself. We're still up 0.04%, but starting to roll over. It looked like we're going to be strongly positive, but we're going to need, Valeria, we're going to need the green shirt powers today to hold positive the way this market is going. Brendo?
Another one to look at, guys. PRTK, a little therapeutics company, getting FDA approval for one of their new treatments that they've been working on. Still trading above this 850 level. So if you go to the daily chart, 850, the area. Big level for PRTK, up nicely as well.
All right, I have to log back in, so I have to wait.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just going to move my stop here. This VTNR, it just tried to roll over, and I saw some acceleration to the downside that immediately got bought up at 920. That's kind of a random price, but it is what it is. I'm going to hang on to this one. I got 938 here to the short side. I'm going to tighten the stop to 955 because, look, if it's only going to go 10, 15 cents to the downside, I'll tighten it up. If it breaks a low, fine, I'll get some out in front of 9 even, but I just don't like the way I saw that price action go for a split second there. Over to AMC. I mean, obviously, this is going to be the one and that a lot of you guys are concerned with. It just, and again, I was going to defend that level, but I mean, it just absolutely died through 29.65 here. So another big flush down. This is where we got the bottom right in front of 29 even. And every time this is rolled hard like this off a level like a 30.50 or a 32, whatever it might be, it's resisted 10% like it's going out of style. In this particular case, it's only halfway. So these drops, while they seem violent compared to last week, it was going the full 9%, and then it would maybe stall out there and it would resist halting. I think 29 for now is going to be a good one, but the other thing to look for, if I get that same pattern where it craters, like in this case, a $3 stock, it'll be probably $2.50 to $3, and then turns, I want to jump in front of that turn if I can catch it. Big sell on volume there when it just got through that 30 mark. And again, holding. So for now, AMC is still looking pretty good. I'm still long at 28.97, but that's the last of my shares from that dip buy, and pie in my face for not getting anything out at that 31.40. And that's all on me. I mean, obviously should have done it, guys. It was a pretty ugly one not to. That OEG, still looking pretty solid as I look for that bottom here potentially in AMC. There we go. OEG still looking pretty solid. We got that short off the reopen. Now it's consolidating at just below VWAP. If it rolls over from here, I'm looking for that 5 to 525 target out. So you know what they say, Neil, don't do it. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm going to get my bid out there just because I'm holding half a dozen symbols at once here. So what I want to do is be on the bid just to allow it to take me out if it continues to flush to the downside. It's been a good one, but it hasn't been the short that BlackBerry has been. Oh my goodness. That's 100% coincidence, guys. I mean, it happened. I noticed BlackBerry was heading down. I flipped to it and then got the fill. I've been sitting in front of 1050 for all morning long, guys. So finally, to the gates of hell goes BlackBerry. I'm still in some shares at 11. My first short was at 11.10. We talked about that in the pre-market. I'm moving my stop short to this 10.10 level from the to 11.10 from that 10.90 was a good choice. I got more at 11 even, and I'm still hanging on to this one. Hopefully, we can retest some of those Friday lows. Brendan? Oh, small cap. Sorry, guys.
All right, let's jump into small cap world, guys. We'll talk about a couple of them. It has been relatively quiet over the past few days, in fact, for some small caps. I just want to mention this on the daily chart for this OEG because we're into this area on the daily chart between 6 and 650. You can even stretch that to 675.7 if you really want to give it a lot of room this morning. But this ends up being this congestion area at the top end of the range for this stock. It did give you an initial long opportunity, then flushes off the open, gives you a nice shot to the downside as well. But once we get up into this halt area above 6, it does start to hold. Initially, the long side above 6, but more sellers coming back in now. So I'm going to give it to 6 on this attempt to the downside. We'll see what happens above that. Watch it for 650 and then 7. It looks like for OEG. The other one, VTNR, yeah, it has been a little bit choppy so far. We're between this 975 and kind of 1025. This is 1025 from the pre-market, so that ended up holding as resistance right off the bat this morning. Gave you a shot to the downside initially. Still working this lower as well. Remember, this thing was 758 back on Friday, so a long way to go if it wants to. Back lower finally after 3 days higher, guys.
And I'm going to come back to Occidental, which I haven't traded in not a while. It's only the morning, guys. Look, it was only like 10:20. It seems like a while because that long was at 9:32 off the open. We talked about the second part of the trade being a 28 break. It just broke it. I tried to get some out for the quick little scalp. Didn't really go very far, guys. I should have taken like 5 or 6 pennies, which we tried to do in that first little quarter. But it's trying to roll back in here. I love the fact that it's held all morning long. That these first outs are in front of 27.75. It's now held out on every single dip back in. So we look to see if that can't happen again. I'll take some out for a quick scalp, and if I can get more shares to buy the dip, I will certainly go ahead and do that. Brendan just talked about OEG, so no need to go down that lane. One more time for you. We have to go back over to AMC, which is now retesting. Now it broke 29 just now, but held. So 28.90, which is exactly about the same. Well, I mean, very, very close to the same price. And I got in at 28.97, but it actually touched down 10 cents lower than that. It's currently trying to retest this low. If it does break that previous low at 28.85 or so, I'll give it a couple extra pennies. I will get out of that trade and hunt for a better price. But first things first. Okay, I'm going to reload it. But if it's going to be a relatively tight stop, I've been holding this one for quite some time. If we can hold this level, I like to get back to VWAP, but it's probably just that bit of a dip in front of VWAP that we'll be concerned with. And if it does go all to crap and breaks 28.85, I'd look for a 27.50, something along those lines for the next level to the downside. You don't want, at this particular point in the day when the volume tends to calm down and some of these start to come back, you don't want to give up your entire day here, but you do want to still be active trading the levels. And then making sure you're in the names that are still moving and giving that good volume. AMC just crossed the 150 million share mark, so it falls into that category. BlackBerry's been a good short all morning long. And Oxy, because of the energy space being strong, is the only reason why I feel comfortable taking a breakout in this stock. I mean, that and the fact that you look at the daily chart, it also was that breakout here at 28 on the daily as well. So there's a couple of reasons to still like Oxy. I know we're getting into that, lunchtime type of hour trade. So we'll see if that doesn't work out. AMC long at 29.05, and that didn't take very long for it to bust the low. So we'll take our first hit on AMC, although I don't think we're going to be done here, guys. If it does dip down, I talked about 27.50. I'll show you why. This is way back to 6:30 in the morning, double support here at 27.50. The other thing is, I talked about that $2.50, $3 range from 30 even. It wouldn't be that halt resist because enough time has elapsed, but it's still that 10% retracement from those levels.
So we did get out of a little bit here on our NEO trade on that break, and then we got right back in because I guess, false break or not, we made the bottom there, and then we got right back in. So, and then we're just going to get it out now as we rip up to VWAP off a nice little NASDAQ bump upside. So that's going to be a good trade for us. Well, it is right now. We're out. We only have 30% left. We emptied that out, but still, man, negative on that because of that breakout, that breakdown right there. Told you we were going to wait till 40.40. It comes in, it breaks, but then it basically holds that. We only go down 7 cents, and then we take the long again, and now, of course, it starts ripping back to the upside. So, yeah, I'm with Neil. I stand with Neil on AMC because, it's been a tough one today, but here we go. We're long at 29.30. We took a few different bids, bid 29.13, bid 28.75. We were actually waiting at 28.30 for even lower, but never got there, which is fine. And now we'll just take a little bit more out as we start to move upside here on AMC. Like, we're trying to have diamond hands, guys, but, we don't want to give up our day on it. So that's just what it is. And I guess if we're going to lose, we made a lot of money on AMC the last couple of days. I guess today may not be a horrible day to do that. But as we look and we break things down, you know, can we get to view up? Yes, that's 30.35. So let's wait. I mean, we'll get some out here. Hopefully it can run upside, but it's just, you know, in this area, we've just hit a couple red, like big red candles. So the AMC, I don't want to say the party's done, but who knows for now. What's up, Beep?
Another little one here. It looks like AIH moving to recent highs, 52-week highs. This is Aesthetic Medical International Holdings Group, if you weren't aware of AIH. 26%, just breaking 11. Not seeing headlines yet, guys, but big volume coming into AIH.
I was not aware of it, Brendan, so thank you very much for giving us that name. But XPeng is the one I am aware of. It just popped back into view. This is the first reload since taking that breakdown trade. Now it's going to immediately start testing this top side, guys. And like we start talking about where can it roll over. There was 34, and this was a lower high that got put in. I tend to like that. I'll wait until it gets to that price to add any more shares here. I got a 33.60 price, which is a little better than we had the first time through on the shorts for XPeng. We talked at the beginning of the show, if I was going to short one of the EV names, it would be XPeng, as opposed to NIO or NEO, which we had a long that did not work out on. It should have been the initial long. I know that, guys. But AMC makes the bounce. So I get out of my second long. Well, it's not really the second long. It's like, I mean, technically it's the third long trade. I'll call it the second because this is all one move back in. I get out of that one. It bounces to 25.30 and is now trying to hold this level, guys. I mean, it's immediately starting to reverse here. I'm going to sit this one out till 27.50. Maybe if it gets up to 30, there'll be an actionable trade there, but I want to slow things down on AMC just a little bit. I mean, I don't want to stay too far away from it, but just a little bit here, guys. That VTNR, I am still in this one. That continues to go to plan, so I'll stay bearish on VTNR as it continues its rollover. I got some shares at 9.10. I've been sitting there for a while, technically 9.11 in front of that 9.10. And then now the low of the day sits at 8.80. If it can break that, I'm holding the short on VTNR whenever I get one of these gap up trades that just holds the line here in the nice downward trend, especially when it fails on a break at 9:30 to the upside. I want to be net short if I can for the majority of the afternoon, well, majority of lunchtime at least. And then if it doesn't break the low, if I say 1:30, it does turn into a bit of a jailbreak long for our afternoon show. And we are, speaking of, we are back every single day at 3:15. This is obviously no exception. Will these names still be hot by then? Yeah, probably. I think so. So you'll see a lot more action in that 45 minutes than you can probably imagine here, guys. Trading just as actively, although we have to be flat by the end of the day as always.
Yeah, we will. And we will be flat by the end of the day sometimes. Well, actually, we've never been burned by that yet on the show. So knock on wood for that, but we'll be fine. I mean, we can get out. Lots of liquidity. Okay, so AMC, just to recap, we did, we took this stock right back to positive land here, and we're just getting out 29.40, 29.50. Now we're going to stop and let this thing ride, hopefully to the high side now, back to 30.50. I mean, if we get here even, I'll be pretty happy around the $30 mark. So there's our last, I think that's our last out anyways. We took another out right there at 48, 49. So here goes 50, 56, 55. What are we waiting for? So a little bit lower than 30 would be nice if we can get that. So let's put some orders in there. Now in the 70s and in the 80s and upside here for AMC. Remember where we're long, 28.91. So this right now is a 56-cent winner that we have on AMC. I'm really pissed off. Because NEO, we had this, man. We were averaging in. We've been really strong on NEO here. We've loved it. Unfortunately, we did get tapped out there, and then now it rips up, and we would have been in the moon. This would have been huge day just to cap it off. So there goes NEO to the upside. Maybe worth taking some off right now. AMC bouncing around as well. I lie. So let's get a little bit out now as it is struggling. There it is. Okay, I was just going to say it's struggling a little bit at 50, but we'll take a 55 out there. So that's a good, or was that 58? Yeah, 55 out. And now we'll wait for more upside on this one. But hey, I mean, my net today is like back and forth and around. So let's just, hopefully we can keep the party going here and make a little bit of money on the show for you guys.
Exactly. And I talked about, well, my goodness, Oxy. It rolls back to that 75 area. Now, this is the downside. I mean, sometimes you'll see a step in, like an AMC will step in front of a bid and just sort of have that level, get it on the way down. A lot of times I like to see it bounce off it. What happens if you let it bounce off? Like I always say, you're going to run the risk of missing a bit of a trade here. So on adding an Oxy, I'm not going to get it. Now, if it tests that top at 28 and doesn't break through, give me some fills above that price, I got to sort of back off here and just keep my stop at the 75. Realize I missed a chance to scalp into more shares and then get like those scalp wins, 10, 15 cents. If I've missed it, I've missed it. I don't want to chase too far. I can show you what happened in XPEV here because this was crazy, crazy. I had my short, get stopped out, and I added a couple of times here, got the math wrong. So get out at 37 when 33.75 breaks. But then because the math was wrong, I still had like 10% left. Had to punch it out when 34 broke by the time I realized I'd made a math error. And now we're heading towards the high of the day. So top in XPeng, what a monster comeback it's had, but this flushed hard off the top the first time, so you can probably see what I'm getting at. If it does want to fail off the high of the day, 34.50, if I liked it short before, if I see a fail at 9:30 and then get the same price here at 10:30, am I not going to take it? Of course I'm taking this one short. I got to try it here. Brendo, what's up, bud?
There's a headline on J&J a little bit earlier, guys, that put the stock under pressure today, to say the least. It's not down huge, but it's negative here after the Supreme Court rejected their appeal. Remember last summer, I believe, it was about this time maybe, there was this baby powder, asbestos baby powder court case. So J&J under pressure here. It just went from 170 down to 166.5. Day lows for Johnson & Johnson.
Definitely worth looking at there as we just got out a little bit on NEO there, so we'll dap that up to the high side there. A beautiful win off NEO. That's like 80 cents. We just took it out there off this double top. So we have one small piece left. We'll wait to see if it breaks back down below VWAP. And then, man, oh man, like we're cashing in. AMC's been great, but like we want this to run, and I'm trying to hold this, so we'll see if I can. But right now, AMC coming back to the downside. So again, you know, we got to take something out here as it wants to just move northbound here, AMC. But you know, now I don't know. Did it just stop there at 29.50? We had some areas of concern the last time it ripped up was basically right here, 30. Then we get that break. That's kind of what I'm waiting for it to get here and then see if we get just one more break. I don't want to be too bullish on this thing the rest of the day, but I think we can test up here one more time. Liquidity's there. It's probably better just to scalp this thing, but for right now, we will hold on to a small piece left and see if it can't get a little bit higher. 29.50 backside would be nice, and then our target ultimately, basically right here, 31.20.
Yeah, and look, and on the other end of the spectrum here, I think, you know, it's been that smooth sailing in BlackBerry. You're going to see me still have some shares. And it just bounced off of that 10.50. So I'd mentioned 10.50 is a bit of a target all the way long. Obviously, I do want to hold through. I'm trying to get it back down to what was like a 10.07 close on Friday. But as it bounces back to the upside here and AMC tries to hold that low, I have to look back to this 10.75, 10.80 area, maybe even VWAP for potential rollovers to be able to get into some more shares here, guys. XPeng is still, I mean, this is a strong move, guys. Strong move still heading towards that top. It's consolidated. I've taken some at 34.25. This is not an average-in situation. This is it holds the high or it doesn't. I get some out in front of 34. I get some out in front of VWAP. If it fails here and puts in a double top, decent chance you could see like 33 by the end of the day, and I want to give myself a shot to hold to that price as well. But I got to take some profit as strong as it's been, if I even get any. Brendo?
A little bit of vaccine news just coming across here. The World Health Organization approving the Sinovac, that's the Chinese drug maker, Sinovac Biotech's COVID-19 vaccine for use. So no individual countries have done so yet, but another one being added to the use list for the WHO. Let's get a quick check on how things in Europe are shaping up Tuesday as well. V, what's up over in Europe?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are all positive as strong oil and metal prices boost shares of big commodity companies. For example, BHP Group trading in London is up more than 4%. Back to you.
Yeah, right across the board, definitely benefiting. Resource companies are strong today, as we've seen with oil, guys.
Oh, I mean, that's one thing I definitely missed out on was talking about some of the resource names, because we were mentioning U.S. Steel last week. And it was going to be one of those, you know, it was giving that consolidation, talked about that being a decent opportunity to get back in. But I also said, you get to this 27.50 area. I mean, it was, you know, previous high breakthrough, sort of held below here in this 26.75 range, that you could have a bit of resistance getting into that range. U.S. Steel getting pretty close. It's 2.5% now, but it just faded off at 27 even. So there could be some resistance forming in U.S. Steel for a potential bounce back down to that 50-period moving average, where it's been pretty good. XPeng, and I know some of you guys were trading this to the south side. I think BlackBerry was a better trade, but some of you guys are trading this one to the sell side. Now it's looking hella strong. It just touched 34.49, which, I mean, obviously if you have a stop at 50, means I'm not out of it yet, but very, very strong pullback into this trade. NEO, I mean, I kind of expected when I flipped to NEO a quick second ago that it would be testing the high. It wasn't, but XPEG, if it doesn't roll over here, I'm going to be all out. I'm not looking to reverse into the long side of the trade. I mean, it just went $1.50. If it wants to go, fair enough. I think NEO is the better stock, but it is what it is. I'm playing the short side for this one. No average in for me, just a 25 short that we have at this particular moment.
Okay, so far so good. Yeah, a good talk all around today, guys. I mean, I hope you're just paying attention and you know, watching some of these levels as I'm just bouncing around here, making a little bit of cash and then losing a little bit of cash and making a little bit more. We've only really traded AMC, Palantir. Well, we only have traded 4 names today, but look at this AMC bid again. So there it is, man. I told you we were going to hold out for some 70s. There it is. Now we'll wait here. 30, 30, 14, 30, 16. A nice bounce back here on AMC. All we've been doing, buy, you know, buying here, buy, and then out. So we're trying to remain strong for you guys here. As a lot of you looking at these names here, AMC today looks like it wants to be one of those names that's going to run for us. So good hold here for us, but still, like, sure, we got out more. I keep waiting for some of these shots to go off, and they need to go off for us. So a good trade there. And then here goes NEO right now, back to the high of the day. So we talked about being bullish on this name. Now, hopefully you realize why. We really like this name today. NEO's been strong. I talked about it right here on my sticky note today that we were going to go long, right? Long looks great, man. Back to 40, break the 40.25, but that happened and we were gone. So that happened too early. We missed the 40.25 break. But if you have that, man, congratulations, because that moves about $1.25 in your favor. So a good trade there for NIO, back to the upside there. But hey, man, so far so good. This has been a big day.
100%, guys. And like we talk about the meme stocks, and we're not ignoring GameStop. I see it's up 7%. It made a run to 245. But if you hadn't noticed, AMC is doing significantly better volume and has been the better play, I think, at least as a day trade for the last little bit. But for those of you that are still watching this particular name, you do look at this like 220 if it ever comes. Oh no, that chart's frozen, that 15 minutes frozen. But if it ever comes back to like that it looks like a bit of a 210 level or 220 on Friday's action. But if it get that even dollar range, I think that's going to be a decent bounce play. Now, if you watch the show on Friday in the afternoon, I did have a good short off of this 230 level, which was kind of what I wanted to get at here. Right at 10 o'clock, there was a bounce off of 229 that got a $15 move. And I look back to that 230 level. I was able to short off of that 229 in front of that 30. I think that's a significant level to file away and go back to in the afternoon in case you get that flush. Now, clearly, it was all sell on Friday's action. So far, it's been trying to get back, but it's failed through these highs at 249. If it cannot get through there, I think you're going to be looking at that 229 to the south side, maybe at lunchtime or maybe in the afternoon show on GameStop. Otherwise, AMC, that's the more interesting name as far as the day trade does go. And now we take you to Sector Watch. Wow, it's 10:40. Time is flying. More mixed board than I would have thought. Brendan.
Kill it.
Yeah, dead flat for the overall S&P 500. We'll show you here. Just 0.09% to the upside for the S&P. So we are higher, but these two groups basically offsetting each other right now. So this is the energy group that we talked about. A lot of big movers in this. Yeah, Marathon still 10% plus to the upside. There's Oxy right beside it. They're all here. Apache, Halliburton down here, XOM as well. All having nice days, 3+% for oil. So energy stocks in the lead. Healthcare stocks, though, as I mentioned, offsetting a lot of that. Not quite 10% to the downside, but in negative territory, being led by the equipment makers. The pharmaceutical names also under pressure today. Industrial stocks, the entire group in positive territory, but nothing, huge moves, but nice 2% plus here for Boeing. You can see some of the airlines over here. UAL, we talked about the reopening type of idea in positive territory as well. 2+% for UAL and AAL. Some of the banks are higher today. It's worth mentioning there's IVZ there that's negative on some news, but the banking or the financial index, the S&P 500 financial index at all-time highs. So this group in charge as far as strength over the past couple of weeks, indeed. I want to mention these real quick. We mentioned material stocks, some of the mining stocks benefiting from higher resource prices today, so have a look at those. Real estate stocks, consumer staples, and tech shares, though, helping to offset to the downside. Otherwise, pretty flat, guys. We did go up a little bit there. 0.14 for the S&P. Back to you.
Ooh la la. Yeah, 0.14, yeah, and the NASDAQ. Okay, well, actually, they're complete opposite right now. One is down that's hilarious. One is down 0.14 and one is up 0.14 basically right now. I don't know how often that happens, but that seems to be a little weird. AMC, guys, I mean, I want this to be a hold. We may put another offer out here, 29.70. I mean, we're right, not we might as well just do it right now. Just put an offer out here, see if we can get out, yeah, maybe even a little bit lower there. 60, there it is, 63, so cancel that. Okay, good. I want to cancel that, so here, go to the downside. We just got out there, 63. Good out, but we still have some on board. So we still have about 20 to 25% left on some of these bids. Unfortunately, it just hasn't gone. We've held out for a while, and then now, you know, again, one of Neil's words, but we're not going to look this in the face because it's just how many times, like if I take off executions here, and you'll notice what I'm going to, you know, like I can leave part fills on it. Don't think I have any today. Like this, you know, pretend this is what I like to do too. You know, if you see a stock here that's just right now, you're saying to yourself, hey, you know, I'm trying to get into this. Well, forget that it says AMC up here, but this has been stopped. Like, you know, we stopped here. This is 1, 2, 3. Like all of these are nice little highs there, right? And so I can't refuse to look at this and say, you know what? I want this thing to moon. We all do. But realistically, like that's a good high a couple times, and we've taken it out there. So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that again, and then maybe trying to get longer in here again. So 29, we'll get out a little bit more there, like we just did. So when you take the executions off, I think it makes it look a little bit more, you know, reasonable there on where to get in and get out, and say, well, you know, not to try to hold out for some of these VWAP prints. But here it comes right back to the downside. So let's take this opportunity to get a little longer here. Neo. You know what? Screw you, Neo, man. I mean, great trade. What am I talking about? Screw you. We'll dap it up. This is $1.05 in the money. But at the same time, we got stopped out there, making this trade not as exciting. So I'm a little bit upset there that we just got wicked out. We'll look to make lower wicks next time and not get out. But we like that 40-40 level. Look, we gave this 40-40 level a long time ago. It wasn't because of this wick. I mean, we were long into this. So we have to look back and say, why did we do that? So 40-40, a problem for us there. But we missed it. What up, Beep?
Another big mover from last week, just popping up again here to show you guys. BBW, this Build-A-Bear has just been on a tear since this day, which was earnings. They just blew out earnings to the upside. This has since gone from 11 to now 18.50, guys. Day highs, another 20% for Build-A-Bear.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that stock, it's back. Why not? We'll have a look at that one in a little bit. But I want to go, if I can, to that OEG. I actually got out of this trade when it just broke that 6 even. So it was a good short. It held VWAP. We never got that breakdown through 550. Now consolidating still to the upside. And watch out. I mean, this look, you get the whole price there. If it comes back to that 650, I'd probably play the failed break through the top idea and then jump into the short trade. But it does look like this one is grinding towards that high. So I would watch out a little bit there if you are still actively in it. I, of course, am not Occidental. I mean, I went into like a whole big ramble about if you're trading or getting into new positions at this time when I got into Oxy. Yeah, let's play the energy space because that's still moving, and you want to play names at blah, 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 blah. It's not moving. It's still holding the top end of the range. I'm still long at 28. I still haven't bought a dip buy. I'm still going to be stopped out if it breaks 75. None of these things are happening, so I'm still in the trade. Not a big problem, but at some point, you know what, or get off of the pot. It is yet to do anything. BlackBerry, which I talked about all morning long being the safer short for me. It's giving some consolidation off 75. You saw what just happened to XPeng when it broke through the top, and I was shorting the top, and it broke it again. BlackBerry just bounced off of the bottom and has nowhere near the momentum, so feels like it's still going to be that safer bet to the south side of the trade. I've been unable to get anything in up at like 80s to 85s, closer to VWAP, but at some point, you just got to take the rollover where it lies, and I'm short at 11, but it's time to get back into this name in the 70 to 75 range. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, rinse and repeat. It's been the easiest trade to be in all morning long, and that kind of is an understatement because when it sold through 11.10 and then again through 11, it really hasn't looked back other than bouncing off of the pre-market bottom.
Someone's cracking up Ms. V on the chat. We'll find out what that's all about. We're going to be down here to 29 and change now. Okay, let's just reload it, man. I mean, oh, sorry. We're looking at AMC. like, again, we did the same thing. We just did the same thing that we talked about. Remember, we took off the chat, we took off the executions, and there it comes right back in. We took another fill at 58. So I don't know. Now, we're pretty light now, so it's easy for me to say that, you know, we're going to decide to hold this thing right now, but we are. I mean, and that's just that simple. So now we'll try to hold it. We do have some more bids down here, 29.20, or make sure. Oh my God, I forgot about Hydration Nation. We still got to have the hydrate and some vitamins here today. So we're going to do that in a minute. We forgot all about that. So what's up to the Hydration Nation that is out there? NEO getting a little top heavy, obviously, with the NASDAQ coming back in. So let's just get out of some NEO right now. We'll offer 25s and see if we get picked up there. There it is. So we did get picked up on 25. So we're out 25 now on NEO. Good trade. We're out. We'll worry about it after. Cancel all of our stop orders. It looks like the marijuana space is not doing anything today. So 20. Yeah, I mean, we were high in the high. Again, that pun was not intended there. We were higher. Still the same thing. Wait a second. We were up here. That could still be something, I guess, too. We were up in the high side at CGC early, 26.50. Didn't break it, guys. That was the only trade that we liked. Now we're down that 4.47%. Look, I can't say this enough. This is not going to do anything. Honestly, like, I'm in this game, and I've been in it for a long time. It's not going to do anything until you get, you know, something like this, like some rhetoric coming from the federales, something like that has to come through for marijuana. They came out, they gave a good report, revenue up 98%, or sorry, 35% year over year, month over month. So it's been a big one, but you know, that doesn't seem to matter as we're still down that 4%. So waiting on something here in the cannabis space. It has to come soon if you want to get out of these trades.
I haven't thought about the federales, Sean, since, was it Blue Streak? The Martin Lawrence?
I don't remember where it's
Martin
from.
Lawrence and Luke Wilson, where you're like, I guess I just spoiled the movie because at the end, he's a criminal who pretends to be a cop so he can get some loot that he stashed in a police station.
Yes,
kind of a solid movie.
Those diamonds, I think he's.
It was diamonds, but
Blue
like
Streak, that's
but
why.
federales, man.
Blue
Like,
diamonds.
obviously, you're talking about the U.S. federal government federales. I think that's
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
be
we've
it.
already. I mean, here it's already legal.
You know how we do around here because it's Canada. And we're,
Yeah, you know how we do.
We're fantastic. We're fantastic. I just got some BlackBerry out here, and the best thing about when you try to talk about the cannabis names, the puns are just they write themselves. Like, you can't get away from it. It's just too easy. Shorting BlackBerry's been too easy. I did get some more out for a 10-cent win. I'll take a 20-cent win. If it breaks 10.50, I will still be short. That's going to be the name of the game. Hopefully all day long. Oxy is still continuing to do nothing, but AMC, as it tries to roll over here. Now, I've resisted. I said I would sit this one out until it got to 27.50, but I mean, this is me, not the bottom wick, but stopping out at 28.75. It only goes to 28.50 before holding, and then I wanted to see if we can hold out for a little bit of a bigger move there, guys. So we'll see what happens. I still think it's in a bit of a downward trend, and we'll try to pick a bottom here at that 27.50 level, or if it just wants to bounce again off 28.50, you can always have a tight stop trade at that particular price. One more that I wanted to get to, and I'm not neglecting it. We show you the winners and we show you the losers. Whoops. Roblox on the New York. I always make that mess that one up. I took the top break, bought the consolidation, no moss, but this is why you have a tight stop here on a breakout style trade. I like dip buys better than breakouts. I give a little bit less room. You know, Roblox is coming all the way back in. If I liked it the first time, to test off of those, you know, Friday bottoms and then the closing price, and that was the target range. If it comes anywhere close to it, giving us that again, I'll look for that 90. Look, before it was 92.75. Clearly that wasn't aggressive enough. I'll try something in the 93 range. So Roblox headed back down. For now, still positive, up 1%, as the market is now red in the ES, still red in the NASDAQ. Roblox has been one of the strongest names. If it can hold the low, that's a good place, I think, to dip by at lunchtime, guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still, right now, we're basically flat as we're getting ready to end the show. Join us back at 3:15. It's been a good day. So there it is, another long here for AMC. So we're just doing as we preach, guys. We're long 04, so we'll put an offer there and get out a little. Oops, we won't get out. We got into NEO there by accident. So let's get out of NEO. Oops, wrong trade there, wrong stock there on AMC. So let's call up AMC and have a little look for you. There's another dip buy there. So this is what we're talking about. Now let's offer out. There's an out there. We're still in the wrong stock. Okay, let's switch it up. Okay, calm down. Now we're on NEO. There's a dip buy there. We talked about getting long through 29. We actually got 29.19. So our average price right now, 29.10. And we just took some out there again, 38.39. So we're just going to keep scalping like we're saying we're going to do here on AMC. I think that's the best trade to do right now. It's doing a lot of volume. 190 million shares. So makes sense to get in and out as much as we can here on AMC. My number one stock today, AMC, Cloudera, Neo, and Palantir. It's been a good day, guys. Here goes AMC. Let's get some more out in the 30s off this recent long at 20. Nah, it doesn't seem like good enough, but hopefully get back into the 60s. Brendo.
Let's get a quick check on currency markets to start off the holiday shortened week. You can see a lot of things in positive territory, and that's because of that over there, which is the dollar index coming down. That's a daily chart coming down to recent lows. We've been talking about this 90 level on the DXY. You can see as an important level, but we are solidly below that and actually testing 89.5 right now for the dollar index. So the euro 0.2 to the upside. Look at the Canadian dollar, 83.1 now, up another 0.3% today. The British pound was positive early on, but 0.2 to the downside now, back below 142 for the pound. We slide down here to Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand was also higher early, along with the Australian dollar, but they're doing opposites now. Turkey 0.4 to the upside. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, all pretty quiet so far today. You can see Ripple having a nice day, back above 101, guys. Back over to you.
OEG. Oh, this is gonna hurt. You guys saw me stop out here on this one at 6 even. It's obviously going to still be a winning trade off that reopen. But I saw someone in the chat that's hilarious. OEG handing out bags. Yeah, that's probably what you're referring to. I mean, clearly it just dropped like a 40-cent move, but it's still holding this 550 level, which I was trying to hold through when we had the short the first time off of 6 even. And then of course you do have this previous bottom of 525. You think it's a coincidence that the 8 o'clock push got this to about 523, and then that becomes support? And then if it bounces down, if it flushes through here, it might stall out a little bit at that same price. Of course, it's not a coincidence. We're all looking at the same charts. Think about those things when you're looking to take profit, of course, but also for entry points. You don't necessarily want to be shorting at 530, 540 when that level does loom. For the time being, it does look weak once again. 550 break is a little bit of a different story because you have some scalp room to that 525. So count me in. If 550 breaks, I'll try to take 15 to 20 cents in the first little bit, hold to the low. I wouldn't short the 525 necessarily. I'd rather catch it closer into VWAP with about 5 minutes to go. AMC is back to 29. Does it hold it this time? We'll have to see. That stock is doing tons of volume, but nowhere near what it did last week, Sean.
AMC, yeah.
Well, actually, is it on pace?
Yeah, it could. I mean, we're getting up there right now, so watch out for AMC. Not to disagree, but yeah, I mean, one day we're at 700, so we're at 200 now. Go a little slower in the afternoon and then pick up again at 3. Yeah, probably 400 million. Let's see if it gets to that today. I will find out what the average was, of course, last week. I don't think it was 400 million. So we'll wait. Well, I mean, I don't think it was that low. I think it was a little bit higher than that. That's AMC. And we're stuck long here, 29.10. So a couple good outs, man. 36. That was actually our only out, 36 since this last long. We do have some more bids lower. So we'll see if we can get any stock, or do we? I might have canceled every. Oh, no, we do. Okay, so we're going to see if we get some more lower options. Opportunities here to get some shares on the low side. That's AMC. NVIDIA trying to climb back. Chronic not doing anything. Just sorting the my little stock window here to see what we've got on the board. XOM, I guess, was one that we talked about. We talked about Oxy earlier as well. We missed out on some of these trades. Where was the XOM? We were talking about some breaks early. Yeah, we must have missed that. Yeah, there was the break, 59, the $60 break, I guess. It would have been okay. It goes up to 60-30, pulls back in. We don't get out there for 30 cents, and then it rips higher. So right now, XOM just kind of chilling out. You may get, what's oil up? 3.5% still. So XOM probably going to hang out for a bit on the high side. I still like a short. This is the 1 minute range. Check out the daily range. If we still get back up here, man, 62, 63. I think oil's a little done with now. So we'll watch to see where oil goes from here. But I like XOM to the short side, but a little bit more needs to happen. If we get back up here, it's probably a decent short. I'm going to put an offer here, 60-60 or so, XOM. See if we get a short. I think oil pulls back at some point.
I'm with you, Sean Owen family. Let's get the 2K likes. I mean, neither one of us has Neo, but it's at 41.50 again. So at the top, someone asked about Sundial, so I'll give it to you here. This is barcoding at its absolute finest. I don't think you'll see better barcoding other than Cloudera, which we're trading, but that's actually doing volume and big time volume, pumping through levels. Look, if it gets back below $1, fair enough. Maybe there's some action here, but I'm just not seeing anything. The volume dying down on Sundial. Looks like this is going to be a sleeper until the afternoon, guys. So I wish I could say there was an actionable trade here. Not much of one. If it gets below $1, maybe it's worth a bit of a short.
Yeah, who knows? Okay, so AMC still going. NEO, let's check back in on NEO, the only other name that we've traded today. Now it's still going higher. So couple good longs down here. Didn't take enough out of this stock. So we'll look to see. Well, I mean, look at the NASDAQ, man. Like, why is this so high right now? Like, the stock still rocking and rolling to the high side. So not really sure what is going on with NEO. The market huge down, NEO huge up today. I mean, we know what's going on. They had deliveries, but was not expecting this kind of a move. This is why it's like the #1 stock here on the list, man. This is why, like NEO, like, look, long looks great. Long, like, can we say anything else? Long looks great. I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. And so here goes the long rate to the upside. Hopefully you guys all caught that off of our sticky note, but hey, long looks great. What's up, Brendo?
All right, a couple of minutes to go, guys. Make sure you come back this afternoon and join us at 3:15. We'll wrap up the day with the final 45 minutes of the trading session. We'll talk about these names coming up again this afternoon. But I just noticed Zoom down 2% on the day, guys, ahead of earnings.
Yeah, it's down 2%, and of course, as reopen comes in, that's going to be necessarily negatively affected. The trend has been pretty clean to that downside. I will say with Zoom, it just recently broke back above the 50 period, has been trying to hold above. This is going to be pretty big to see if this sort of continues in the market, at least this testing through 320. It's going to be hard unless the numbers absolutely blow things away to not hold to be able to hold a level like this if the market tries to crash through. So you could see some pressure on Zoom going into the afternoon as people might be risk off into that earnings play. Wowzers. Before we get out of here, we always do like a national day, and a lot of times it's going to be something that's a little bit tasty is the best way to put it. Yeah, this is going to fall along those lines, although it better be tasty because the market just turned red. That green shirt needs to get some work done here in the afternoon, Miss V.
Hey guys, thank you for starting this trading week with us. You're all super fun and great, and we missed you a lot. Guys, please double check if you like this video and make sure to hit thumbs up to the upside. We'll see you at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and happy National Hazelnut Cake, everyone.
Ooh. I like hazelnut. I like hazelnut coffee. I like hazelnuts. I'm a big hazelnut fan.
You said it right there. I'm a flavored coffee guy, despite the fact that Brendan tried to get me off of flavored coffee. I love it on the weekends, but hazelnut is absolutely delicious. And if you're a coffee drinker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Brendan, the hazelnut cake?
Sure, why not? Yeah, if you're a flavored coffee drinker, don't Google flavored coffee. It's bad. But I mean, you can do that with anything these days, it seems, and it comes up pretty negative. But
you know where vanilla, I mean, if you Google vanilla, I mean, apparently that's coming from a...
There's what?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, let's not Google that.
What's wrong with vanilla, man?
Just Google it. I have some chocolate kind of coffee here. It's okay, but I do prefer the normal coffee as well. So hazelnut cake, a good one. You like that? You like hazelnut, Miss V?
Oh yes, looks so good.
Oh yeah, so she does. Where's your mic?
It's on me.
Oh, you've got it on. Okay, yeah. So in case you didn't hear that, oh yes, so good. You like?
That's what I said.
What is your favorite nut?
Peanuts?
Peanuts. Okay. Man, that was too easy. I could have just crushed
Cashews.
Simple. I like it.
Yeah.
That's
Peanuts.
the only one I remember, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, hey, nothing wrong with that. I like the almond as well. Is
Right.
a nice nut.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's too easy. I'm not gonna say it. Let's just Neil, wrap this thing up.
It's going down.
It's
going downhill real fast.
What are we? Yeah.
Okay, look, it's been a fun one. Of course, we're back at the close. 3:15 for the fastest 45 minutes ever. On YouTube, at least, for the entire team. It's been a wild show today and a lot of fun. For Miss V, for Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts, and for Sean Katina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you at the close.
Okay.
Bye, guys.